Yes.
What?
Snoop Dogg. Yes. Snoop Dogg comes and talks for a bit.
Wow, that's really dumb.
He's a hockey
And
fan.
he's like, I'm a big hockey fan from LA. I love me the Kings.
He loves the LA Kings.
Yeah. I mean, he's from Long Beach, and he's like I was a weird kid. He's like, I was a hockey fan when I was little.
That is
Why
weird.
is Kyle no longer in front of his laptop?
Give me a second.
Slowly tugging one at the periphery.
Rubbing one out, yeah.
Yeah. Tugboat. Call me Tugboat.
Hello, everybody. It's Friday, and that means you're tuned into another episode of the Sleeping Giants Gamecast. No nonsense. Let's get into it.
Baby.
She
Baby.
heard you singing.
Oh.
Hey everyone, you're watching the Sleeping Giants Gamecast. We are on episode number 13. That's correct, yes. I'm Sean, TSG Big Time.
I am Alex Axel Haxton. It's good to be back. It feels like it's been at least 2 weeks for me. And you guys have been holding out for a 4-man, so here we go finally. Nice to be here.
And I am Kyle, LU Radio DJ. It's good to be back. Good to have the 4-piece going again.
And I'm Derek. Welcome to the Gamecast, everyone. So obviously we didn't do one last week for reasons. And we didn't do it yesterday because it's episode 13. Doing that on a Friday would have been weird.
Ooh, good save.
We're here on Saturday instead because a Saturday the 13th never killed anyone.
No. Actually, probably a lot of people have died in the history of Earth on Saturday the 13th.
Don't say anything.
Right.
How's everyone been? It's been a little while.
Yeah, been okay. Got a lot to talk about for sure. Maybe you guys can relate to
There's
that.
there is a lot to unpack for things gaming.
Yep.
And it's my favorite episode today.
Why?
Because of our game.
Because guess the game. Yeah.
Because guess the game.
Okay.
That's right. Guess the game.
Those are always my favorite.
Yeah, they are fun. It is. I almost said it is an enjoyable game mode. Happy they released that DLC. All right, so where do we want to start? Because there were a couple big things in the news, big developments, or do we want to start more with the game side? I mean,
I just want to start with the shout out of the week, which is to myself for locking down a Series X pre-order, which was not easy.
Maybe locking down.
Maybe locking down. I have the official email. I have the order number, but outside of that, I might be getting it by January. Like, who the fuck knows, right? But it was a shit show, so I'll just start there. Props to me for
I'm as excited as I am for mine. I can't remember, Derek. Did you give yourself a shout out about your standing? Or was that you just
no, I actually cut.
Okay,
I completely forgot about
Derek
that.
We have some good news. Derek here.
We do.
Fill them in, Derek.
I hit affiliate status on the Twitch. It happened.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah, I was there and I saw you visibly see that email, and that was cool.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool email to get. Felt good.
Buddy.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
I mean, still just
I'm tossing you a sub. I'm tossing you an October sub.
I mean, that's cool if you want to. I already made my case for not doing it. Not that I don't appreciate it, but
Yeah, October, because I'd rather watch your stuff than his. So, no offense.
Oh, were you just shitting on your brother?
Not shit on my brother. I gave him like a 6 month of sub or 4 months of sub.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
I subbed to Critical Role this month, but I'll sub to Derek next month.
oh, that's kind of you. Thank you.
You gotta sub to your podcastees, right?
I'm sure you would do the same
That's
if I was
true.
affiliate.
Yeah, if like we were all affiliate, I would bounce it around between everyone, right, every month.
Yeah.
Like right now, the only person I have to give it to is RJ, right? So I give it to him, and then as more and more pop up, then it'll just start to rotate, right? So
I think I need to link up my
dummy account. No, just kidding.
I think I need to link up my Prime so that I can do that shit. Anyway, so
Congrats, that's huge. That's the goal that I think every single one of us here would like to achieve.
Indeed.
Some different gradients of like some of us more than others, but good job, man.
yeah, so that any more special mentions? We got, I mean, 2 weeks of stuff, right? Has anything else happened?
Not that I can think of.
No, not really. I mean, like, pretty much just
anything. So.
We've.
Oh, you know what? We can throw one out to Sean for new
job.
Same job, new place.
Same job, new place.
Same job, new place.
I don't think that counts.
It does in a way, right? I mean, it doesn't count in the world of gaming, but it counts as a special mention. It's a new challenge, a new chapter. How is it going? Really quickly, I'm just curious. I've been meaning to ask you.
Yeah, same.
It's I mean, I miss my old store, but it takes like 10 or 12 minutes to get to work as opposed to 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh wow, that's
so
that's a much better thing.
Usually I would like go 5 days before having to fill up in a tank of gas. I think like on my first week I was on a quarter tank and I made it through almost the whole week on a quarter tank of gas. So that's just an example of a quality of life improvement.
Nice.
That is a huge one, yeah. Gas in the tank.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's got its own different challenges, but it's a good team. It's going well.
That's good. Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Well,
it could be.
Nothing better than a L-shaped Vanna White attempt where, you know, you go like this, you go the side and the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Diet Pepsi or bust, boys.
Wow.
Look, as far as sponsors go, I would rather Coke, all right? Let's face it.
Sponsored by the caramelized Pepsi that nobody cares about. So I just have a lot. Do you mind if I just jump into one thing right now? Because this is a hot topic that I was just talking about.
Yeah, jump in. Go.
So we're talking about Series X. There's tons of things to talk about. But I don't know if you guys heard, you probably did, but there's a lot of hullabaloo about the memory, the aspect of like the memory concept, the size of the hard drives and whatnot, right? I don't know if you guys talked about this already or what.
No, we didn't, but it's
entirely blown out of proportion.
It's entirely blown out of proportion because an SSD like of equal space is almost the same price anyways. People are like fucking losing their minds for no reason.
And I also found out, I didn't know this, credit goes to Shane Saltimore. Hopefully he'll be on this podcast one day, but credit goes to him. He's like, yo, just so you know, your old hard drives can still run the Xbox One, 360, and the Xbox OG stuff just like it does right now. You just plug and play them. It's not that big of a deal. You just can't get like necessarily the same speeds, or you don't want to use your enhanced Series X games on your older hard drives. On internal, basically.
Yeah, that is
exactly
that is correct. Yeah. Your old hard drive you can plug and play, all your games are there, but you will not be taking advantage of the fast load times that the SSD gives you. But this is why Eric was mentioning to me. I know you guys are gonna laugh because we talk about Eric, but Eric was like, Eric was talking about buying the proprietary Microsoft thing, and I'm like, bro, what the hell do you need that for? Literally, the one game you play there's plenty of space on the Xbox for that one game he's gonna play, and any other one-off game that he might want to play at some point in the future, like. Yeah. I'm just gonna say Dead Cells, but like Ori or whatever. Those games take up no space, and he's so like disconnected from gaming that it's not gonna bother him that he doesn't have those load times.
Right, exactly. And you know what though, like for me, what kind of blows my mind is like the overreaction to this, where everyone's freaking out that Xbox had to publish like an FAQ that I was reading. Where it's like, yeah, you can still use your old hard drives. You just don't get the speed necessarily. So I'm like, okay, so I install Cyberpunk on the internal.
That's pretty much what you would focus on. Put your Cyberpunks and Assassin's Creed Valhallas and stuff on your internal hard drive.
On your old shit. And
what kind of space do you need with xCloud anyway? Really, but there is one thing though that I'm not 100% sure about, and because originally Microsoft was saying that Series X games wouldn't work on an old hard drive. It has to be on an SSD, if I understand correctly. Have they come out and said anything about that? Have they said anything about that?
I think they won't work. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Series X games have to be on an SSD.
I just want to make sure, because you led by saying you can still install your new games on the old hard drive. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't think that was confirmed. It's okay. I just maybe you read something that I didn't read.
No, so they had said was specifically they mentioned Xbox One, 360, and OG games on your old hard drive. They did not say Series X games on those. So
the SSD is disappointing. The built-in one is kind of disappointingly low, but I mean, that's what every console's been, right? Like what the Xbox One launched at 500 gigs. It fit 4.5 games on it, and then it was full.
Yeah,
this is going to be no different here, unfortunately. But I don't think Microsoft is doing it to make money necessarily. It's just how cheap memory is. I don't understand why they can't make it bigger, but then again, it is SSD. It is a solid state drive this time around.
Yeah, it'll up production costs. That's why.
As for the proprietary SSD, like Derek said, this is what's honestly. I keep reading. I don't post on any of these forums or any of these like YouTube chats or Facebook chats or IGN chats, but they're fucking dumpster fires, honestly.
Oh, they
like
are,
these console wars are like the dumpiest of fires, man. Like they're terrible. But anyway, people are like, "Oh, look, you got to buy a $200 memory card," and I think people who know a lot about PCs are like, "You cannot get a cheaper equivalent on a PC." Like this is exactly what the market price is for these things right now.
I just want to throw out some of these prices, right? A quick trip to Amazon.ca, all right? 1 terabyte X2 SSD. 364, 254, 269, 252, 203. Then you start to drop to like the Western digital ones where they start to come in at 165, right? But again, like we're talking a proprietary SSD, specifically designed for use with the Series X or the Series S.
That's it.
And then add on top of the fact that they're not just giving you the SSD chip, but protective covering as well. So 220 is a fair price.
Yeah. Can I get a resolution on one thing? Because I saw a picture of somebody inserting like a thing the size of a Switch game, like a physical Switch game. Is that what we're talking about? Like this little tiny memory card, or what is that?
No, I think it's like the size of like a Nintendo cartridge, like a classic Nintendo cartridge, a little bit bigger. Like it's fairly big.
A little tiny guy for some reason.
An SSD?
Maybe I'll look it up because I have no fucking clue what I was looking at.
It's not like a micro. It's not like a micro SD.
Yeah.
It's like I'm pretty sure. Like you've seen if you look at the mock-up of the Series X, the photos, you can see it's like a big. Like the connection is like a big. Well, the camera you guys are looking at is here. It's like the size of a Nintendo cartridge, I would say.
It's weird. Why did I see this little card slot then? Like what?
Well, because look, it is a little card slot, right? The way it's designed is here. Just a sec. So
Here's the picture. It looks tiny though. It looks way smaller than what you're describing, honestly.
Based on the port on the back of the Series X.
An SSD card, most hard drive materials, especially with not a hard drive, but the SSD is a card usually roughly about this big, if you can.
Yeah. Like a Nintendo card.
About that thick. Oh well, that high.
Okay.
And they're generally decently thin, right? So, who knows what type of dimensions they came up with for the Series X? They might have been able to.
I have a photo here. If you guys are curious, here I'll drop it in the chat.
But what you need to do is go look at the Series X and the back side of the console. You can see where the SSD goes.
Yeah. If you click on that, you get a better sense of the size. It's kind of it's definitely not a Switch game. I misspoke on that, but
I'm pretty sure like where it goes in is similar to it's not as long as a Nintendo cartridge. It's not like as tall. Like it doesn't jut out like a Nintendo cartridge, but where it inserts into the console is pretty similar to like a Nintendo size cartridge.
If that's their proprietary thing, that's pretty interesting.
It is, yeah.
It's being built by. Is it not Seagate?
It's Seagate. Seagate does.
Yeah.
Seagate does. They're probably some of the best people at hard drives.
And Microsoft has said that they will accept third-party SSDs as well in the future. So if anybody else makes cheaper alternatives, you can use that as well. Yeah. Also, don't forget,
you guys see it in the Discord chat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think from the picture, just quickly, it just looks like, depending on how long it is, it looks like a somewhat standard size for an SSD.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So okay. Thanks.
Like Derek said too, is that people are freaking out about the price for absolutely no reason. It's pretty standard. Also, not to mention that this is being built by Seagate to run specifically on the Xbox Series X. And even if you look at Digital Foundry and PC enthusiasts, the hardware and tech going into these SSDs is apparently revolutionary even for the PC. Like these cards and the inner workings of the consoles are doing things that are actually ahead of where the PCs are at right now.
Right.
Which
is strange because usually
it's strange, but it's about time. It's about time that they step the game up with a console and actually try to compete with a PC in that sense. So
and that's not to say that like a PC still does bigger and all this and that, but I think it has to do with the speeds. I think it has to do with the speeds from the SSD to the console. Like the delivery time is ahead of where the PCs are at right now. I'm not like a PC tech guy, so I can't explain it all to you. But I've read numerous articles talking about it.
Well, you two just bought your PCs. Like, what did you put in as far as like hard drives go? Because I know what I'm buying for mine, but like, what did you guys get?
I had a built-in. I had a built-in one, and I have an external.
Western Digital 1 gig. I think no. What did I get?
Not 1 gig.
No, not 1 gig. I think I got a Western Digital terabyte hard drive at the time.
I'm not getting
so like
so I excuse.
So I'm putting just one. Basically, I'm putting a Samsung 1 terabyte SSD in mine. So we'll see if like comparable wise at that point, we'll figure out, like, I'll see, does my Series X match up with the PC at that point? But I can see that I'm glad, like you said, Derek, that they're trying to make a console, like, give it some edge or try and compete with the PC market, because it's this way you can't see any of those guys using their little logos at the glorious PC master race.
Let's be honest too, like the average person, we are not the average person, okay?
We are not the average person.
The average person does not have the back catalog of 300-400 games that we have.
No.
And there's an argument to be made. There's an argument to be made as well that if you go through your back catalog, there's probably 3/4 of that you've beaten or can uninstall at this point too. So, like I said, like this is why this stuff doesn't bother me at all. We knew this going, like this wasn't new news. Like already before they showed the actual console, they were rumored about having an SSD external. There was no prices out for it until like this week. But I mean, what do you expect? Like, do you expect an external SSD to like be free?
And that is sorry, and that I should correct because as far as like price goes, I know that it's a decent price. It does seem to jump off the thing, which is why I kind of showed it to Alex at the time, but that was also more just to show him news basically for the day. But the internal one that I'm gonna buy is $179. So like Derek mentioned, it's a protective casing, and it's being made proprietary for Microsoft. So hence the $40 jump in price, which isn't that much. It makes sense because it's an external one and not an internal one. So,
but that's $179.
$179.99 Canadian for the internal SSD.
That's 1 terabyte though.
Yeah.
Is Microsoft's 1 terabyte as well?
I think theirs is 1 terabyte as well. Yes. Right, Derek? Can you? The external one, is it 1 or 2?
I'm gonna say yes because in the picture there's a 1 terabyte on the end of the
Oh
card.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna assume it's 1 terabyte.
More than likely 1 terabyte. So yeah.
But yeah, the chats are dumpster fires. Honestly, like
Yeah.
It's like the slightest thing to kind of like. We should be happy that SSD is finally making its way into consoles. It's about time.
Yep.
They could have easily gone with a fucking regular hard drive this gen again. They didn't. They're stepping their shit up. Everyone should be happy. A terabyte internal already is a decent chunk of space for the games that will need it. Other than that, I've got my 2 terabyte external that USB. I'm just gonna plug that shit in when the time comes and make sure, like Alex, like everyone said, basically all the old games, boom, on it.
Yep.
And go through the back catalog and get rid of the shit that I don't play anymore. Because again, there's probably 10 games on my external that I haven't touched in a year and a half.
Definitely. If I may just get one moment of further clarification, like just as an active example. So, Maneater, the shark game that I was playing earlier, it was announced that it's going to have a free Series X update. So in order to get those things, it needs to be on internal. Otherwise, I'd be playing a Xbox One version, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It can be on an external, but it would have to be the proprietary SSD.
The SSD.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry.
If I understand correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, to get the Series X upgrades of those games.
Internal or proprietary.
Hold on. Well, this is where I'm not 100% sure, okay? Because the new console over your current console will still get a visual upgrade on that game. It'll look better. It'll have better frame rates.
Okay.
Regardless, right? Like if my current Xbox, if I buy the same game or get a free upgrade on the next Xbox, right, even if it's on my old hard drive, a last gen game, we'll say, like if I take a last gen game on my old hard drive and put it on my new Xbox,
that's what
it will immediately look better regardless, right? Okay. The only thing I'm not sure about is, my understanding is to take advantage of the fast loading times in the Series X hardware is it has to be on that. This is where there's a confusion. Like people having this confusion is a fair, like,
it's fair for the gen upgrades.
It's like a fair question to Microsoft. Like, what exactly is? Because I'm pretty sure at one point Phil Spencer, that is, said that it had to be
on his name basis.
The new Xbox. The new Xbox games have to be on the new hard drive, but I don't know if that means, I don't know if they said like that's like you have no choice, or if it's to take advantage of those speeds. Because I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure you can install anything on the new or old hard drive. It's just you won't be taking advantage. You know what I mean? Like if you don't buy a proprietary hard drive, and you buy a brand new Series X game and install on your old regular USB 2.0 hard drive, and it's not loading fast after the company's telling you lightning fast loading times, you will be upset and think your stuff isn't working properly.
For sure, yeah.
Right? So I don't think it's that it won't work. I just don't think it'll work with the next gen benefits of the
Right. So the question
fast loading times.
was how do enhanced games that were last gen, how does that translate, right? Which is again,
Yeah.
some respect as well. Like, do I need to put Maneater on my internal, right? That's what I want to get it a last gen game to get it to look better, or will it automatically look better? You know,
it depends it depends what the honestly. What's the launch lineup looking like anyway? It depends on what I'm going to put on there. I'm sure that I'm going to have Cyberpunk on the internal. I'm going to have Valhalla on the I have Valhalla on the internal.
Yeah.
And probably Yakuza Like a Dragon on the internal. And Scarlet Nexus.
What the fuck is that game?
You don't even know if that game's going to be good yet.
What is that?
Bruh.
Must be anime.
It's another. It is another. Yeah, it is an anime game.
You've seen it. You saw it at like the Game Awards and E3.
I'm sure you've seen it at the Game Awards or at the. You
saw them both. You saw it at both.
Oh, what do you make of this one thing? This is switching gears a little bit, but this is something I wanted to ask you guys outside of the podcast. So I read that Bethesda, like they were doing a Ghosts of Tokyo or whatever. What the hell was that called?
Tokyo Ghostwire.
Yeah, they're gonna leave that as a PlayStation exclusive, even though they signed with Microsoft now. That seems so weird to me. It's like, why?
Because they had already
promised. Is that what they said? I don't think that's what they said.
They said they will leave Ghostwire Tokyo as PlayStation exclusive.
But it was already only a timed exclusive. I think they said what they said. Unless you're
okay, sorry.
They're respecting the contracts in place.
The contracts that are in place.
Yeah, exactly. So
but a year from now, Ghostwire Tokyo. I don't know what time, but a year from now, Ghostwire. Tokyo Ghostwire, and the other one, Deathloop, will probably come to Xbox.
Okay,
but they're not gonna strip that exclusivity deal away from Sony, and I don't think they can anyway. Those contracts are in place. Like they would have to pay tons of money to Sony to have that happen. So why not just give it to Sony and make money off them anyway?
I don't know if it's even gonna be good, right? That's like another. It's like why. Yeah, like that. Yeah, okay. So I didn't know it was a timed exclusive. I thought it was a pure exclusive period, and I thought that was weird. So anyway, moving on from that, then that's solved.
The since you talked about pre-ordering a Series X, so let's who pre-ordered?
Let's bring that up.
Just Alex, and you?
Yep.
You pre-ordered a PS4 as well?
PS5?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Same thing. Really.
Yes, it is not.
Except one is shit.
I wasn't able to get one from EB, so I was able to get one from elsewhere. But yeah, I did pre-order it.
Dude,
so you have them. So you have them both pre-ordered, yeah?
I have the PS5 and the Xbox.
Okay. So let's just, for the sake of throwing things onto the the flaming dumpster fire.
Sure.
How do you guys feel the pre-orders went in contrast to each other? Let's say. Now I'm just gonna put I tried to pre-order the Series X.
I heard what happened. Yeah.
Multiple websites, and I actually had a Series X in my cart from the Microsoft store at 11:01, a minute after it opened, and then I could not get through to the cart. Finally, I got through to the cart, and I finally got through all the credit card information, and after breaking numerous times, it still stayed in my cart. I finally got to the ending phase, and finally get through to checkout and to do the payment. It tells me that I'm in the wrong country. I'm like, is this like a Quebec thing? Pre-orders aren't open to Quebec yet? And it could have been. It's possible that Quebec was like a lot, because they launched these things by region, like in time zones. So I don't know. But so that was a little bit of a pain in the butt. And also Amazon and Walmart at this time and up until noon did not have Walmart and Amazon.ca did not have them listed on their site.
Yeah, Amazon did not have it listed until like 11:30. I felt.
Yeah,
like, man.
they shit the bed, but I can't blame Xbox for this one specifically. But it does suck. I'm not too worried. I work in retail. I'll buy one probably day one anyway.
Right.
But how do you guys feel? I think that Microsoft. I like how Microsoft dug into fucking PlayStation. I love the cheeky comments they threw at them because for the entire time that Xbox has existed, Sony has done nothing but this to them, like on corporate levels, places where they should be professional and weren't. Like, here's how you can share games on the PS4. Hand the physical copy to your friend, and ta-da! Making fun of Xbox. And I was like, man, and people don't realize like where Xbox is going now with Game Pass is like where they wanted to go at the start of this generation that we're in right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is exactly where they wanted to be. And now look at it. Everyone's like,
yeah, exactly.
Everyone's like patting Microsoft on the back, but it's just funny how it goes full circle. But
that's what they always were going for, you fucking idiots.
But I was happy that that Xbox threw some shade. Like, don't worry, guys, we'll let you know exactly the time and the date that pre-orders will start. As opposed to PlayStation was a dumpster fire. I'm sorry, but they did their show.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They did their show, and then they didn't put anything in the show about pre-orders. Nothing at all. Then Jeff Keighley on a separate, like on his Twitter feed, was like, pre-orders open up later today. And then people were like, what? Sony didn't say shit. And then he retweeted and said, oh, my mistake. They're not open yet. And then they opened up randomly like the next day, like at a random time. And people who wanted, plus Sony did that thing where you can sign up to get first into the pre-orders. And not even all those people got emails.
Pre-orders?
So what ended up happening is that pre-orders were supposed to go, like you said, live on the Thursday, the whatever the fuck day that
whatever
was.
Day it was. I think it was Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. It was. But a lot of retailers, because of that, sold theirs the night before. That's after the conference.
But this is Sony's fault. Sony does a conference, and this thing was already pre-made. Like, this conference has been pre-made for months. Let's not get it sideways. Like, they already had these graphics to reveal the console and the prices. This wasn't new. Somebody at Sony isn't paid enough to add a slide at the end that says pre-orders on this day at this time. Like, you can't blame the retailers for selling at different times when Sony doesn't communicate an exact time and place that pre-orders were open.
Unfortunately, I don't think the exact time and place, from my experience, was even like a great solution either, because it just caused every fucking cart to crash completely.
Yes, but at least you know though, right? The thing is that there's a big difference between for starters, this is where pre-orders suck to begin with, because you either get in or you don't. And in this day and age, like, scalpers are an actual thing. Like, bots go and buy the consoles up. It sucks, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
And if you've ever tried to pre-order anything in life, you know that there's not always a guarantee you'll get it.
Right.
But to be told, our biggest fans sign up to this and you'll get a pre-order, and then maybe like 5% of those people who actually signed up got an email sent out, and then God knows how many other scalpers, whoever, picked it up from other retail sites. Because it was disorganized as fuck. If you wake up in the morning, it's already sold out everywhere. Like, what the fuck did I just miss? Like, that's like,
it's like, it's not actually out at 11. It's out at, like, whatever.
So like, I agree that perhaps all at the same time isn't the best thing either. I don't know if there is ever going to be a good way to do pre-orders. The only way to do it is to have like tickets in a queue. Like, you get in, you're in a queue, you're in a lineup. You get in, you have like a minute or 2 minutes to do your transaction. Otherwise, it breaks. That seems like the only fair system to do.
That's what Best Buy was. Like, that's what my experience in Best Buy was. It was like you're in queue, and then even still, the cart was like, everything was gray, and I got like a million fail messages, and then I just kept pushing through and still got one. But
it's
this was shit show anyway.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if there's really a right way to go about this, but I don't think people should be necessarily upset at Microsoft for the retailers. I mean, we have to remember too that with COVID going on, I'm sure apparently there was plenty of consoles going around, and apparently it set pre-order records for Microsoft. So I mean, that means that they have at least at least more consoles available than the Xbox One had out of the gate.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if there's a right way to go about it, but it sucks if you didn't get one. It sucks that I didn't get one, and it's a little bit frustrating. And I even posted on the Xbox website. I tweeted to Xbox. I said, well, this sucks. I've had this in my cart since 11:01 from your goddamn store, and I don't have one. And now they're sold out everywhere. But I'm not like upset at Microsoft about it. I mean, from their own store is a little bit like shady, maybe. But I do understand that everyone's going in at the same time, and that's the internet's problem. That is like these websites and the servers' problems, that they can't handle that kind of traffic. Right, exactly. Just look at games. Look at the majority of games when they launch day one. Multiplayer for most games is trash. They just cannot handle the traffic of people coming in.
But when do we expect it to change? Because it's so goddamn annoying for games and this. It's like, how do you even run a pre-order event if your website can't handle traffic, bro?
I honestly, speaking about how they do it by regions, they should do it by regions, or by province or state, because then they'll be like, okay, from 11 to 12, or maybe they got to give a little bit of a wider window, maybe like a 2-hour window. From this time to this time is like Ontario, Canada. You know what I mean? From this time to this time is Alberta, Canada. From this time to this time is Wisconsin. They can like split it if they want, because like technically speaking, the .ca website and the .com website aren't like in the same branch. You know what I mean? They're separate stores.
Right.
So that divides the traffic alone. But when you have like a million Canadians, I'm over exaggerating a number, but when you have a million Canadians hopping onto the site, then you have a million Americans hopping onto that site, and a million Europeans hopping onto that site, like, oh, it's bugging, I can't do it. So then all of a sudden they start scurrying to see if they can order one from the UK, from the US.
Right.
And next thing you know, you have bots ordering from every goddamn place on the planet that they can order from, shipped to the same place. They don't care if they get it a month late. So it's like, I honestly think to be able to region lock them and have like separate, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have to get all our pre-orders. Like, do they need to have all their pre-orders done and gone in an hour? Why can't they split that up throughout the day, through a 24-hour period? That would seem like the smart way to go about it, to avoid these kind of problems. But that won't change the fact that not everybody got a console, though. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, not everyone's going to be able to. Everyone who wants a console is not going to be able to get one. I do believe that with Sony and Xbox, COVID problems aside, I do believe anyone who wants a console between now and Christmas should have no problem getting one. I do believe that'll be.
That's one thing that crazy, because Xbox said like the only thing they said was, hey, there'll be more on release day. It's like, holy shit, there's not going to be another pre-order window before.
No, I don't think they're doing. Yeah, I don't think that, like, Sony already did their second pre-order window.
To me, that seems a little sketchy. You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
I don't know how it works. Like, I mean, I don't know like how many consoles they're spewing out. The shipping is a hazard right now for everyone. So that's the hard. Everything takes twice as long to ship.
Right. True.
If not longer.
True.
So yeah, I definitely think that when it comes to pre-orders, I think Xbox did a better job. I understand that it still had issues and I didn't get one. But I think telling people to sign up and giving them the hope, and then basically slapping them all in the face, and then launching them at a random time and having every retailer like sell at a different time is like so badly done.
That Amazon wasn't live on 11 at 11, and I agree, they weren't. I was scouring them at 11, so they went at a different time anyway.
Walmart.ca and Amazon.ca were not, but I went to Amazon.com and they already had the US. The US Amazon had the Series X, so I don't know who at what end is controlling these things. I don't know if it's just like weird time zone glitches or whatever that things unlock. I don't do that kind of web design and planning for big companies. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that works. If I owned a Sean's video game store, let me tell you, at like 10 o'clock, I would have been opened up and have people getting in line to get ready for their, just like how when you go to a midnight release at a video game store, not that anybody does that anymore because
it's not even a thing.
That's the one thing I miss, actually, but it's not even a thing anymore. But I remember going to get Halo 3 at launch when I loved it, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't get there at midnight and then punch each other in the face, see who's going to get the console. people are showing up at 11 beforehand, waiting in line in a queue, except physical, not digital. And then the first person in line is first come, first served. You go and you get your console and you leave. And they limit you to one console unless you've pre-ordered and you have like your friend's pre-order number. Because I think I actually picked up Derek's Halo 3 for him, if I remember correctly. I think we all pre-ordered at the same spot. And I went with like one other person, and I picked up like 4 people's Halo 3s, and then I brought them.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it was Derek might have been with me, and I picked up somebody else's. It might have been Matt's we picked up, but either way, we were there at midnight, and it was such a long time. I see Derek thinking about it, but it was so long ago, I don't even know.
Speaking of midnight launches, I remember like Alex and I have a good midnight launch story. Remember NHL?
Yeah, I think you guys
the NHL midnight launch story was great. Yeah. When his brother fucking curbed their car, and all you hear is tore the front bumper off of his dad's car, and then he pulls out just a little bit, and all you hear is just. And we get out of the car, and all these other dude bros from their NHL are like, "Whoa!" And then, and we're like, RJ's just like, "It's not that bad. It's not that bad." And then we're driving later, and all you hear is.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I was there for that launch. Well, I wasn't there, but I was at home waiting. Like, where the fuck is everyone? Because I think you guys. I think I delayed you guys. I think the Jacksons only showed up like at 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, God, I hate you kids.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
It did. Yeah, we were all delayed that night.
Yeah.
Speaking,
it was the one with Steven Stamkos on it. I don't remember which one that was.
Nobody cares about Stamkos, so I wouldn't remember. The only one I remember is the one that Subban is on.
You didn't even buy that one.
Doesn't mean I don't remember it.
True.
What was that, Derek? You're muted.
Oh yeah, I can't. Weird.
You are muted.
You are muted, sir.
Nope. I'm just gonna take a moment. Look at your shoulders. Oh yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, that was weird. It changed my default mic setting for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Mm.
Yes, weird indeed. Indeedly do. Neighborino. Excuse me.
So what were you saying, my good sir?
What was I saying? Probably not important. What was that something to do with NHL? Something about I've never bought one and I still remember Subban.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So going back to PlayStation and Xbox, is it just me or is Xbox in a pretty positive, like shining light right now, and PlayStation seems to be being held in a really low light? Is it just me? Do I get the same?
I think everyone's both hyped about their own machines. Right now.
I see. The thing about that is that I don't want to say like. I think that the only reason that Xbox might be seen in a little bit better light, if that's the way that you want to say it, is that you're thinking about their side deal, right? And that's like the deal, their acquisition.
I mean, that's a big part of it, but not just that. Like, just from what I've seen on the forums, like, yeah, they're a dumpster fire. Like Alex said, you have people hyped about this PlayStation.
Forums will always be a dumpster fire because it's just full of.
But you have people hyped about their respective console, which is good. And then you have people. But on top of the dumpster fire, I do see proper criticism now and again. And there's a lot of people who are saying, I won't be buying a PlayStation this time. I'm going to go back to Xbox like I was. Like, they had a 360. The one was shit, so they switched over to PS4, and now they're going to go back. And I have a lot of Sony fanboys who are like, GG, Microsoft. We're going to buy like the S because it's a cheap, affordable version. But when I don't mean necessarily your personal opinion or necessarily just the forums. I mean, if you look at all the news articles lately, like Sony's kind of been getting ripped a new one in comparison to Microsoft has been like the way that people are spinning stories. Microsoft is like straight and arrow going in a really good direction, and Sony is just like misstepping every step of the way. It would feel like that anyway.
Maybe you know more than I do.
Even if they're not, even if Sony wasn't misstepping, right? They're not. From what I've seen, from the things I read from the little I hear on Sony, they're not doing much to change, right? So even if they weren't misstepping, all right, they're just kind of following their path, and that's it, right?
They don't have a Game Pass equivalent yet. Like they do still have PS Now, probably, but it's not.
Yeah, but even if they started to implement something like that now, it's the like we still praise Game Pass almost fucking daily for all of its awesomeness, but the whole wonder and I guess you could say magic of it is gone now. Like it's a thing, it exists, it's there. So even if Sony were to create something like this, it's not going to have the same wow factor as it should.
That's true.
And I'm not saying that because like, oh, I'm an Xbox fanboy. I'm just saying that because it's true at this point. It's not going to have the same like slap in your face. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is the greatest idea ever.
Exactly.
I think it would for like Sony guys who only play on PlayStation. It definitely would feel
for
new.
them. Yes, but
they
in
would
reality,
also say like, look
there's
at this
nothing
great thing
new.
that they would also be like, look at this great thing that Sony invented. Does it so much better than Microsoft.
Yeah, but I think you're kind of like focusing in on a smaller minority of
I know.
console players.
Like,
it's just fun it's fun to throw the shit.
It's fun to poke. Yeah, it is. No, but there are going to be those people with that mindset. But I think overall, Microsoft is finally making the right moves and following through on a solid vision, a solid game plan.
Microsoft went from
getting their shit together.
They went from 15 studios to 24.
Yeah.
And this is 15 studios that they only recently acquired. Like, this isn't like all generation. They had 15 studios and they failed to deliver. They failed to deliver all generation on exclusives. Yes, there's no question about it. And I feel like Microsoft and Phil Spencer are tired of hearing that with these 15 studios they've now acquired. And with the Bethesda ZeniMax acquisition, that's 24 studios, of which most of these studios are working on multiple games right now. Rare is currently working on 3 games. Ninja Theory. Is it Ninja Theory or Team Ninja?
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory is currently working on 3 or 4 projects, if I'm not mistaken. Obsidian has got like 3 projects in the works. Grounded is one of them. It's only it's like half release, so it doesn't count as release.
Yeah. But
they have like 3 games in the works. In Exile just released Wasteland. Was it them who did?
Game.
They just released Wasteland 3 recently, but they've got other games in the works too.
And can I just jump in quickly and just say, I was talking to Derek. I was like, look, I'm not about exclusives. I never am. And Derek's like, yeah, I kind of agree. I'm like, but it is fun to see the Sony guys score and be like, I'm not going to get to play.
It's super fun. I don't necessarily like, I do believe that exclusives are very important. Like,
right.
I don't necessarily agree with the practices, especially of timed exclusives and such like that. And like, oh, here Destiny launches the date on both consoles, but then PlayStation gets some quests to themselves that we'll never get to see. Like, there are certain exclusives that I absolutely hate. But a console exclusive is a console exclusive. Sony bought studios, managed those studios to an extent at a higher level, and push them to deliver the games they deliver. Are they all fantastic games? Yes. Are they all like the similar goddamn thing? Yes. Like, they literally do one kind of game and they do them fantastically, but they're all the same kind of game. Great games.
One of those probably.
But great games, masterpieces, as most of them scored 10, but they are the same kind of, almost the exact same genre. But there's no question that having those games pushes sales. Right. And Xbox needs that. And whether you like it or don't like it, I do believe we need it. And us as fans of the Xbox need it. Not necessarily to feel better, but I mean, it does make us feel better. Like you said, you're happy to see the
makes you
PlayStation
laugh.
guys squirm.
Yeah,
but it
they're
makes
not going to. They're squirming for no reason. I would just add, because they are play these games.
I don't know about that. I honestly, we'll talk about that after, but I really don't know about that.
Well, how said, it's not about making less people play them. You know, it's about getting more people to play them. So
on their devices, they specifically said devices. They didn't say all consoles.
No,
if you're looking at the PR speak.
No, they didn't say all consoles.
They specifically said devices.
On a case by case, they said. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
yes.
I understand that too.
I think that I honestly think I would bet money on it now that Sony fans, if you're only gonna buy a PlayStation, you should be squirming right now, or get a PC with Game Pass if you don't already have one, or buy an Xbox, because I guarantee you, Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, probably the new Fallout, any of the big hitters, probably even a new Doom or Wolfenstein, will not be multi-platform.
I have my doubts. I think they will.
I'm in the Alex camp on a doubt with that.
Wait. All right, before I say my piece too, I just wanna I wanna hear why you have these doubts. All right, just a short little like, what makes you doubt this?
After that, I want to finish mine, and then you go, Derek. Okay.
Because there's no reason for these extremely popular games to be limited. They know they can sell tons of them. Why did they join Game Pass? I'm not exactly even sure why they did. They must have got an insane amount of money up front. Now, I bet you it'll be a timed exclusive at most. At most. It'll be a timed exclusive. And it will come to us on Game Pass for free, quote unquote. But it will still come to those other consoles. I cannot see Bethesda, even at their best relationship with Xbox, which was Oblivion launched on 360, that still came to PS3 eventually, and it was shittier. It was way worse, but it still came there, and that was their best form of a relationship they've had, in my opinion. So maybe they're rebuilding that relationship, but even then they weren't exclusive. That's my point. So I don't think they ever will be exclusive.
So, but now the quick thing with that is just that it's not a relationship anymore.
They're owned by Microsoft.
Now Microsoft owns Bethesda, so right, what they say goes.
Minecraft as well, and it's still on.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I'm gonna put a cap in this right away. Minecraft has been around for over like 10 years now at this point, and originally was on PC and has gone everywhere. Yes, you are right, but they're not going to remove Minecraft from those consoles. It's already on there, just like how they're not going to remove Tokyo Ghostwire and that from being a PlayStation exclusive at launch. We're talking about future releases.
Because I think Microsoft's philosophy, actually, they don't want to do that. They want to play nice guy. So unless they're swapping that philosophy now, and they're literally going to cock block everybody from one of the favorite franchises of all time for some people, then I still think nice.
I want to hear. I have a rebuttal to that, but I want to hear Kyle first.
I have a rebuttal to that, but I do want to hear what Kyle has to say.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Even though they own Bethesda, I think that they know that they will. There are some people that are so dedicated, so diehard, they will never, ever buy an Xbox ever. And
but you can play on.
They know that they know that they'd still be losing money. So, do I think that they will be totally exclusive? No. I agree with Alex on the timed exclusivity. I think that they'll do very similar to the Epic and Steam Store thing, where they have a full year on Xbox Series X and PC, and then they release them on the Switch and the PlayStation.
Let me go first, Derek.
Let me add one more detail. Phil Spencer says, or has said in the past, that they're not about taking games away from people, right? He said that in the past at E3s.
But he's
So
not taking anything away from
so-
anybody.
Yeah, I know, but Microsoft's just gonna make tons of money by selling the games on PS4, PS5. Why would they want to get rid of that?
Okay. Is that all you have to say, or do you still got more to add?
That's it. I just agree with Kyle that they may have a timed exclusivity, but they know there's a market that won't buy Microsoft, like in Japan,
Ever.
and they
Yes.
just want to make that money.
Then why have all these Series X and Series S sold out in Japan then?
I don't
All
know.
the pre-orders sold out, bruh.
I don't know. I don't know why.
Okay.
Because
okay.
they're
So-
they won't get Elder
Okay.
Scrolls. They will.
It's important. We've had this conversation before. I just want you to, and I'm sure I'm on like the exact same wavelength as Derek, but we've had this conversation before, okay? About how Microsoft is fighting a different battle. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Console
Exactly.
wars do not exist to them. They don't care if they sell a Series X. They want to sell you Game Pass subscriptions. So treat Game Pass as their new Xbox. They want exclusives on Game Pass to get you in. What is more important to them? To have... Now, this isn't the PS4 versus Xbox install base anymore. This is a new generation PS5 versus Series X, which probably at the start is going to be fairly even 50-50 of where they're at. Maybe like a 60-40 for Sony at the very start. Pre-orders say anything. If pre-orders say anything, it's going to be very similar at the start where they're selling. Okay. Do they want to release that game on the PlayStation just to get that one-time purchase? Or do they want that to go into Game Pass and have people booked into Game Pass year after year after year? That is a month. That's $15 a month. They have 15 million subscribers right now. At $15 a month, do the math and see how much money that is.
That's what I'm saying. They don't even need to like play
But they
hard.
want to. They want to be the biggest streaming service. They want to be bigger than Netflix for video games.
Subscribed is that they already are for video games.
Okay.
Yeah, well, no.
So-
They're the biggest video game streaming service. But that's still brand new. They don't want to be... The thing is that everyone else is going to be making their own things now. Sony's going to be coming into the work. Netflix was huge and the best before everyone else came out. And I still believe Netflix is the best. There's lots of shows coming to Amazon that do better and whatnot. But the Netflix platform, its app and all that stuff is the best running, okay? I know people are upset that they've pulled things now many years down the line. They've pulled things and not all their content is great. And they've like canceled shows after 2 seasons because it didn't make the money they were hoping.
That's how it goes, though. That's TV.
Which could come to Xbox 10 years down the line. Don't get me wrong, okay? But 15 million subscribers is nothing to Microsoft. Is nothing in the video game world. That is nothing. That is like they want way more than that. They want people to keep coming. And look, you have is it Amazon that's making? Amazon is making their own gaming stream service now. You have Stadia. You have blah, blah, blah. Microsoft wants to be because everyone sees what Microsoft is doing and they want in on that piece of the pie. But Microsoft literally has the best service for this and the best platform for this currently.
Oh, yeah. I know.
They want people to come to them. So if you, and Sony you saw is already going that way with, you can play these 20 PS4 games at launch if you have an Xbox Live a PS Plus subscription, sorry. Because they're trying to get into that and they want people to come in to have that value.
Right. Yeah.
So Microsoft, I don't think they're going to go 100% exclusive. I can agree with you, but not with their big titles. If you think that Microsoft is going to spend $8 billion to release a game on their competitor's platform, unless Sony is going to get Game Pass on their platform, it is not coming to PlayStation. Guaranteed.
I would be shocked if they got Game Pass on everything.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying is that, but Sony would never let that happen. And because Sony will never let that happen, it is not coming to PlayStation platform. Those big titles, some of the, like I said, it's like 12 new developers were added to the studios, were added to the Microsoft pool under ZeniMax and Bethesda. That includes mobile games as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. They make a lot of grade C mobile games all the way up to your Elder Scrolls and your Fallout. Elder Scrolls and Fallout and not Fallout 76. I don't think one shit game in a group of, I mean, they're Bethesda. They've made lots of like glitchy games, but at the same time, they're like the best games that have ever been around in that kind of genre. We've had this conversation too. But Microsoft is fighting a different battle, okay? If, like I said, they will not spend $8 billion. They will not spend $8 billion to release it on their competitor's platform. They're not going to spend $8 billion to put it on the Google Stadia.
Margins could be projected to make 65
They're
million.
not. They're not, because Google. If they go into Google Stadia, for example, those games, Microsoft doesn't get really that much money from it. Neither does Bethesda, because they're paying Google. Somebody is paying their competitor to play their games. They still get a small percentage, but that's not what they want. They want to be the leading. So will some Bethesda games be timed exclusives? I 100% agree. Starfield's Elder Scrolls 6, unless Game Pass is coming to other consoles, these are going to be Xbox and PC exclusives. I'm willing to bet my paycheck, my home, my child, and my wife on that now. Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout, those games, unless, now I'm putting it in parentheses, unless Game Pass is on Nintendo, unless Game Pass is on Sony, those are not going to those consoles. And Phil Spencer said devices. He didn't say consoles. He said devices, because you can play on any PC, on any Android phone. All you need is an Xbox controller, and you can. All you need is and you know what? You don't even need an Xbox controller. You can play Game Pass on your xCloud Android with a PlayStation controller. Okay? So you can play anywhere, but not on PlayStation console unless it's through Game Pass. Now, there will be some that I do believe a year, two,
by the way,
maybe even three.
If Sony gets on Game Pass, which I don't think will happen, but if they did, I claim victory in this argument. I claim victory, not you.
No. You can't do that.
You can't have both. You can't say
do that.
never coming to a PlayStation except this.
Being able to buy it in the PlayStation Store and being able to download it through Microsoft subscription service are two different things. Yeah. Very different things.
Microsoft would win because the money goes to
Microsoft wins. We win.
Anyway, is my point. Because they're taking cuts of every disc that gets pressed for Sony and otherwise.
This is why they did say case-by-case basis. I do believe some games, there will be a timed exclusivity, and they will come to PlayStation. But this could also depend on the console sales as well. Like I said, we're not talking about last gen where it's 3-1. We're talking about the new gen that Microsoft's fighting with Game Pass and xCloud, which also carries back into previous gen. They don't care where you play, but they want you in their ecosystem. Yeah, so will they give some, if the sales of Xbox end up being like 3-1 again, yes, games might, exclusive Xbox Bethesda games might come to the PlayStation Store, because that's an easy way to make money. That's an easy way to make money, to your point. But that's not what they want. Microsoft wants you in their ecosystem. So, for example, if Nintendo got Game Pass, you can play all the Xbox games, and with the power of xCloud, it won't even matter what the Switch power is. PlayStation Store, Microsoft won't, because you said it counts as a win, and you say it counts as you being right if Game Pass comes to Sony. That is an Xbox win, in my opinion, because Sony is never going to let that happen. The only reason why Sony is going to let that happen is if they're struggling, and then they'll let that happen. It's not going to happen otherwise.
They won't let it happen anyway, so it's an irrelevant.
They won't let it happen unless, like I said, they are struggling for sales. And having their competitor in their store help and make them a profit is the only way to go. And I don't think we'll get to that point, because I think Sony has its own solid fan base anyway. But I don't think the numbers are going to be 3-1 like they were this gen. Like Xbox 360 outsold the PS3 for like the longest of time. I think PlayStation in the end, by the end of the generation, surpassed them, but it wasn't by a huge amount.
Right. What was Derek's rebuttal though?
Okay, so here's why y'all are wrong. I've had a lot of time to think about that intro. Here's why y'all are wrong.
Does that include me as well?
No, because we're kind of more on the same wavelength of this. All right. First off, Kyle said something about not wanting to lose sales. In this situation, all right, they are not losing anything. They are simply gaining. All right. So even if they don't sell a copy to a PS5 guy, they're not losing any money because this is money they didn't even have coming to them. This is revenue. This is just pure gained revenue. All right. It's not, we've owned Bethesda for 10 years and now we're cutting off Sony. All right. Every sale that they would make would just be cash in the bank for them. All right. They needed to justify spending $8 billion to shareholders. All right. We're talking the CFO's ass on the line, the CEO's ass on the line, Spencer's ass on the line. So how do you think they did that? Do you think they sat there and said, listen, we want to spend $8 billion to buy these studios. All right. But we're still going to release the games on Sony and not try to generate anything extra for us. No. Because simply put is they will generate more revenue from people coming into their ecosystem, as Sean said, right? Whether it be on PC, Xbox, whatever.
Okay, so basically what happens though then is if that is the case, what will happen is that PlayStation people will play on PC, right?
Yeah, and that's still Microsoft's money.
Yeah, that's fine to Microsoft. Yeah, obviously. Because
they've gotten them into their ecosystem. Now they know what their base price is. They know, say, for example, they know they need 5 million subscribers to Game Pass to pay for it. And then anything else on top of that is gravy. So if you can get people to spend $15 a month for a year, well, it's a better deal than a one-time purchase of a game. Because once you start spending that, I could never, ever picture myself not having Game Pass now. And I think we can all agree on that.
Game Pass is like $200, and that's like still not bad because it's like $80 a game. Like Wasteland would be $80. Gears Tactics would be $80. That's already $160 and RIP, right? 2 games.
Just to interrupt for like half a minute, Derek, just because I didn't do the math before, but this month, 15 million subscribers, $15 a month is $225 million a month. And they want to push this to be more. So think, like, if you do them, how many months does that take to recoup their $8 billion they just spent? Exactly. So like Derek said, they're not losing anything. And the only other, just a little thought to plant in the seed.
Doesn't that prove that they don't have to justify the $8 billion because it's already there? That's my point. They don't have to justify it to shareholders because it's already there in 5 months. They can take shots. They can do whatever. They can throw darts in the dark. They can leave it on PS4, Sony, whatever, PS5. It doesn't matter.
No, because that's money that goes to the competitor.
But it does matter because
for every game that they launch for every game that they give to Sony, that is potentially less subscribers to their platform. It is not a continuous source of income.
Already got the subscribers.
Yes,
they want more subscribers.
They want their stock price to go up. They want more money in their pockets. And the CFOs, the CEOs, they want to keep their jobs.
It's not anyone's ass on the line, really, because
it is. That is how corporations work. If the shareholders do not make what they think they deserve for investing in this company, they will replace the people in charge.
Derek,
so if you spend $1,000 per share and the first fiscal year comes up and you've only made $250 per share, you're not happy. You're going to demand a change in leadership.
Yeah. These are like business sharks in the sense that they don't sit down and say, oh, we're the only video game service. We have 15 million subscribers. Psh, who cares? No. They are a corporation that wants to double that money, triple that money, and that's fine. And the investors, as Derek said, somebody sat down and did the math and say, buying this $8 billion company, it's not about how long it'll take to pay it back. It's how long will it take to pay it back and see like a 40% increase in that amount or 20% increase in that amount.
I guarantee they will find that money regardless of what they choose to do.
Yes. But
I think they'll find it regardless.
But here's the thing though, but it's not just regardless though, because like I said, 15 million subscribers, that might not increase. That's still 225 million a month. But now, every time you launch one of these games onto the PlayStation platform, that is one less subscriber you're potentially gaming. You're gaining, not gaming. Whereas if they withhold stuff into their platform, they don't care about Series X sales. They don't care if you play it on Switch. They don't care if you play it on PC. What they want is your $15 a month in their pocket. Constant flow of revenue, continuous
Revenue? I just want to point that out. You said revenue.
Revenue. My mind's all over the place. I work today. Constant stream of revenue and subscribers going up. Like the $225 million a month is no laughing matter. Sorry?
It's only hypothetical that a lot of these people would move from PlayStation to PC, get Game Pass, whatever.
Yeah, but it's a chance that they can take now because they own the studios, right?
PlayStation gamers don't have to move, though. They can still play their PlayStation games and then get into Game Pass on their phone, on their PC, on their Switch, on their Xbox, whatever, and take advantage of those games. That's the beauty of Microsoft. They're not forcing you to play it on one platform, but nowhere did they say that they're going to give all of our games that we spent $8 billion on to get more profit and growth and give it to our main competitor, even though they've said that PlayStation isn't their competitor.
So, okay, so which is it? Are they the competitor or aren't they? Obviously
they are. In the gaming industry, they are their direct competitor. Exactly. But Microsoft as a company is not looking at PlayStation as a competitor because they can buy out PlayStation tomorrow if they wanted to. Right, if PlayStation went up for sale. So, but they're looking at Amazon and Google. Yes, but why are you going to play nice with the guys who trash talk you for the last 20 years?
You already are. They've been doing that for the last 3 years.
Playing nice with everyone. Yeah, no, but Sony has given nothing, though, is what I mean. Sony's not playing nice with anybody.
No, they're not. But
so Microsoft and Nintendo have a fantastic relationship. Just because they have a fantastic relationship, they're going to give their $8 billion exclusive to PlayStation?
I would be 0% shocked. I would be more shocked to not see those games on a PlayStation machine. This is my opinion. I would be more shocked.
They're big titles. The big titles like a Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, unless Game Pass is on PlayStation, they are not coming to PlayStation. Pre-order an Xbox now, get Game Pass on PC, I don't care. If you don't have an Xbox, if you don't have a Game Pass, a minimum Game Pass, you're not playing these games.
I say that if they Elder Scrolls 6 probably on both.
No.
The next one after that, no.
No. They never announced what consoles Elder Scrolls 6. It's not like they're binded to a contract. They never announced where these games are going. They said for next gen consoles, that Xbox Series S and Series X are next gen consoles. You know what I mean? Like they're not trapped into any kind of contract. I don't think it's going to come. Now, Todd Howard did.
I mean, look, the safest bet is to bet that they won't, because right now it is no longer an independent studio trying to make money and pay their people. Now it is a subsidiary of Microsoft. Microsoft's job is to make their investors rich and keep their jobs.
And it's important to note, Todd Howard and Phil Spencer came out and said that they are, like most of their new acquisitions, they remain independent in the sense that Microsoft... Well, I'll wait for Alex to come back, I guess. Oh, look, you can see me twice now. Hi.
Oh, goody. 2 Seans. That's exactly what we need.
Could be worse.
My Discord shut off.
So spicy.
Okay. You can hear me, Alex?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So as I was saying, Todd Howard and Phil Spencer came out and said that Bethesda and ZeniMax would retain certain aspects of their independence, I should say. Microsoft isn't going to come out and be like, well, this is how you have to make Skyrim, the next Skyrim, for example. Yeah. However, things you got to think about is that, like, Bethesda's PR company is now absorbed into Microsoft's PR company. They're now one and all. And maybe we talk about the glitchiness of Bethesda games running on an older engine. I do think that they must be pretty well good in their financials if they were worth $8 billion and have stayed around for so long. So they're But now imagine if you have Microsoft's money potentially backing you and making these games as well.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not. I do believe that some of these games, some of the smaller ones, could come to PlayStation. We already know that some of the ones that they're already binded by contract in will go to PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And will some be 1, 2, 3 year exclusives? I do believe this will come down to Xbox sales in the end, and where they're at come, we'll say end of Q1, you know, like going into this summer where we're at, that might change their outlook on things. But Microsoft is trying to build their Game Pass subscriptions, and giving those games, giving Halo to, I mean, by that record, why not just give Halo and Gears of War to PlayStation and let them buy it? Because we make that one-time $70 buy off them. But that's not what they want. They want you in their ecosystem with a constant flow of money. And even then, I said the amount, $225 million is no small number. But it's not free to make these games any regardless. It's not free to make these games. It's not free to put these games on Game Pass. And one final note as well about Game Pass is that everyone, and I mentioned this in the one time I posted in a forum or a chat today actually about it, is that everyone's talking about Game Pass is just bargain bin trash and I'm going to go play my exclusives on PlayStation and blah, blah, blah. And Bethesda never made good games, so why would they start now? Being open Microsoft makes no difference to me. And all these dumpster fire arguments is that not a single person, in literally thousands of comments I've read, not a single person realizes that Game Pass is also a game store. Because those games, while they're in Game Pass, they warned you well in advance that they will be leaving. I say well in advance. I think it's like a month.
It's usually a month,
yeah. About a month. You can buy that at a discounted price. If there is a game that you really like, that you're really invested in with lots of replayability or multiplayer component, you have the right to buy that at a cheaper price, which is like, it's like having a Costco card, for God's sakes. You're a part of the membership. You're a part of the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, just wait for 10 years down the line when they take their Xbox. Anything owned by Microsoft is not leaving Game Pass ever. I'm pretty certain of that. Ever.
But Bethesda won't, is my understanding.
Bethesda is Microsoft owned. Anything Microsoft owned is staying on Game Pass forever.
Yeah.
That includes Bethesda.
Which is, can I just say the weird thing about that one deal, the Devil May Cry 5 deal, that already ran its course for how much they paid for it? Like, that must be one of the backroom debates. Like, okay, that wasn't worth it for you guys. Like, speaking of corporate things.
There's always going to be things like that, yes.
Yeah.
But how many subscribers did that get, though?
Again, right? Mixer would be one of them.
But how many people subscribe to Game Pass for that, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, yeah.
And
right? Like, we could probably 30% increase if we buy Devil May Cry 5 for $500 million, and then they only had it for like 6 months or so.
But they have also said that Game Pass, like, they've seen that, for starters, Game Pass numbers of subscribers are going up. People are playing more types of games, which is a fantastic thing. That we're like, we see that in ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
And because they're playing other types of games, especially for the little guys who like might not have had the money to do this, this is a saving grace for them.
Oh, it is,
and it breathes extra life into their games.
State of Decay 2, right?
And then also plus they say that they said that there's a surprising amount of people who are buying games through Game Pass. I've never done it.
That surprises me. Yeah,
I've never done it, but that's because currently they don't have that online game that I need to play. Gears of War ain't it. Halo ain't it. But those games would stay in Game Pass anyway. So in a world where Halo may become the best shooter around, and Gears of War is the best third-person shooter around, and PUBG is the best BR around, all these games are free and keeping you in. You don't have to buy those ones, but the third-party games that come in still come at a discounted price.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic deal, really.
Yeah, for sure it is. I don't think that's been that. I don't even think that's debatable. At this point,
it's not debatable.
Yeah, like I said, I re-upped for a year, even going into a new gen, because it's like, well, I want to play Gears Tactics right away. So
yeah, I mean now with the purchasing of all these studios, they now have the ability. They've probably focus grouped this and fucking online surveyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So that will in part give them their answers to whether or not they can turn around and say, "Ha, Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive now, eat it, bitches."
True.
And even at that, they have the ability to test that. And what better testing ground than to literally say, "Hey everyone, Elder Scrolls 6, blah blah blah. Oh, and by the way, it's exclusive now. Game Pass."
And don't get me wrong, they're not going to make any kind of announcement like this until they show the game. Like, none of this is going to come out. Like, Phil Spencer's not going to be like, "Oh yeah, they're all going to be exclusive," or "Oh no, they're all going to be everywhere." He specifically said case by case basis. When we see Elder Scrolls 6 trailer or a teaser, probably day one Xbox exclusive. Like, I that's where I think they're going to go with it.
It's only timed. Every single one of them. That's what my bet is. As I've noted, obviously already.
No, fair enough. And I mean, that's the beauty about having these types of conversations, right? It brings up all these things. Like, even me, like right now, like I sit there and from a, like, thinking on like the business side of it, I'm like, it would just be so stupid to keep releasing some of these big titles on both consoles, because at this point, like I said, this is just, it's revenue that has appeared out of nowhere. It's like when we buy a new restaurant, right, in the middle of the fiscal year. All right. If we decided to stop selling half the menu, we're not losing money because it's brand new. We did not have this, and it's not in the budget either. So it is pure profit that goes on to our P&L at the end of the year. And it's just like, hey, you guys were budgeted to make 20 million this year. You made 26 million.
Yeah.
And it's just pure money coming in again.
And for those unbusinessmen, P&L is profit and loss, just so you know.
Right.
Yes, just like it's.
But here's what's awesome about being on the Microsoft side, if you will, right now, in my opinion, is that they are making all these kind of weird moves that are difficult to track or difficult to be sure of. That they are trying to look forward to like a bigger picture rather than, this and that. Like, I just feel like Sony's not necessarily looking as big, but they have their standbys that'll always bring fans and do all this stuff all the time. But I think Microsoft's always operating at a bigger level, and it fails. Like Mixer fails, sometimes it fails, but they're always trying a bigger thing than just the console itself.
Yeah, and we had talked about that too, and Sean referenced it again. Is we like Sony is fighting these battles whereas Microsoft is sitting back and say, "Yeah, you can win this one, no problem." Oh yeah, that battle, sure, go ahead. We're looking at the big picture. We're looking at the war map. You're looking at a battle plan. Like, this is we're looking at the big picture. You guys are going fight by fight, and not planning ahead. Whereas now that is what we're doing.
I also just want to add.
I just want to make sure that we're still on the Microsoft versus Sony, like that. This is how all this conversation spawned, right?
Yeah.
One clear vision and of evolution, and then Sony. Not saying they don't have a clear vision, but it just seems that evolution is not at the forefront of their path.
And they're. I mean, I don't know if they have a clear vision based on the mixed messages they're sending either, like about the backwards compat, and then, oh, we're not doing it, and then they are, and then, oh, PS4 games, PS5 games will work on PS4, like literally like a week before they opened up pre-orders. And now there's the whole Spider-Man thing going on that about saves not transferring over to the PS5, like all things that should not be happening in 2020.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like these are like, this kind of thing should not be happening. That, for me, it doesn't affect me as I didn't play Spider-Man. But if you were somebody who wants to play Spider-Man, wouldn't you want like your save file to go forward? Wouldn't you want your unlockables? Even if you're starting like a new playthrough, wouldn't you want the skins that you earned and your trophies to carry through or whatever? And it's just like, they're shafting you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that just made me think of a completely different point too on the whole Game Pass exclusivity, like Elder Scrolls thing being kept to Microsoft. If PlayStation provided that exact same service, all right, and I could pay for so we'll call it Sony online gaming, okay, SOG. If I could pay for this on a monthly basis on PC and stream this game, I would sub to that just so that I could play games like God of War, Spider-Man, and not necessarily needing to buy a PlayStation, right?
Yeah, it's never going to happen. But
no, I know, yeah, but I'm just saying that's also just a good way of looking at this, right? Like it's a possibility of dragging those Sony players into just the Microsoft ecosystem without even having to force them to buy a console and just pay for the subscription. Boom.
Like I think like unless Microsoft were to develop like their like the Sony Game Pass, for example, I don't think that they'll ever have like a service as strong. And I'm not talking about like the quality of it, like of the games or whatever. I mean like and the price. I mean the actual functionality of how it all works together. Like Microsoft is like the market leader of these things, like for a reason. Of like Windows operating systems and the Azure servers and stuff. Like if I'm not mistaken, Microsoft was helping Sony make their online infrastructure for next gen too. Like, and then you still have like, I don't know. So
yeah, but we're talking about Microsoft, right? The same guys that I'm pretty sure were dropping entire servers into the fucking ocean to test that as a viable option.
Apparently, that's awesome actually, because a funny story about that is that they were doing apparently the actual the carbon footprint from that is actually like half the amount of what they're using right now, and it also runs
above land.
Yeah, and then everyone was making messages. They're like, "Oh, well, it's all fun and games until you heat up the water some more." I'm like, you know how many of those servers it would take to raise the temperature of the ocean?
Well, that and they don't also have to work as hard, right? Because being sealed in that enclosed environment and being dropped in the ocean, I read about it briefly. They're saying
it's very interesting.
Yeah, it was because, like, for example, with like less like air and less the servers being exposed to less air, dirt, particulates, and stuff like that. And a much easier way to control the temperature, the servers actually degraded way slower. And I think in one of their longer test periods, only one server ended up crashing in their test bundle, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like big moves, right? Big moves. I haven't seen Sony do a big move like that since they tried to do like, what was it, cancer cures by folding things on PS3 or whatever they were doing that one time. You could use their weird processor, and they would actually like in the downtime you could have it so it'd be like doing shit to help cancer cure. I'm almost certain of it. It was called like folding. I forget what it was folding, but I'm almost certain of it.
I'm gonna look that up after. I'm curious. But it's just one of those things. It's like the big brain plays, the planning of. I mean, Microsoft, they are in terms kind of a different beast than Sony when it comes to tech.
Yeah.
But it's just cool that you have this company that just keeps trying new things. And I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's all for profit, right? It's not because of their love of gaming and their love of the environment. It's money that drives it. But it's cool to see what it drives.
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say my final point on this particular topic was like, you already kind of mentioned that, it was great to be a gamer or an Xbox fan at this point. Based on the optics too, like don't forget that like Phil Spencer is not blind to the fact that literally everyone for the last 10 years has been like, where are the games? And every E3 Phil Spencer has done, it's been like, oh, this is coming. And then Scalebound gets canceled. And then this game gets canceled. And they're aware of this situation. And it's nice to see them finally raising their guns, the power that they have. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like seeing them go up and buying companies. I'm sorry, but Sony did not build Naughty Dog and Insomniac from the ground up. They bought these companies that they said were talented and helped give them the money they need to survive and push for better things.
Right.
And I mean, we don't know what kind of state Bethesda was in. I doubt Microsoft just strong-armed them. Like, you know what I mean? Like they could have easily said no and been happy with something else. Anyway, it's nice to see Xbox and Microsoft stand up for gamers and not try to throw Kinect down our throats, even though I was a big supporter of it and I don't think it was a terrible thing. And the tech was still amazing. It's just how they implemented it on consoles, and most of the games are trash. But anyway, other story. It's nice to see them stand up for gamers. And yeah, like Derek said, in the end, it's a facade. It's all for profit. But it shows them that they really, because we said on paper, Microsoft has it set up. And okay, still on paper, they're set up for success, but we haven't seen that success. Fable, the next Fable can be trash. The next Halo can be trash. Every Bethesda game moving forward can be trash. And then half of Todd Howard and half of the original Bethesda studio guys might end up leaving and starting their own new studio. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what the outcome will be in the end. But on paper, Microsoft is fighting for gamers, given... Think about it. They have the most powerful console for gamers. They have the best online service for gamers. Within that online service, you have Game Pass, the best game streaming service, if not the real only one at the moment. They have, I don't know if they'll get rid of games with gold, but cool. They have the best elite controller. They have the best ergonomic controller. Like, even people who play on PC buy and don't play console games will buy an elite controller to play on their, if they're not playing mouse and keyboard. Okay, don't misquote me on that.
Yeah.
But people who like to play games with a controller go for the Xbox remote control, and I'm missing out a lot of things in there. But the xCloud, the only game streaming service that's there. I said Game Pass is a streaming service, but I meant subscription thing. xCloud is incorporated in there. That's literally other than Stadia, there's no other game services doing that. And Sony, no matter what they do, like Sony is like eons away from having that kind of tech in their hands. So it's everything they're doing is batting for gamers, for us as Xbox fans. It's nice, like you guys said. As much as I don't care for exclusives, I do care for exclusives. Microsoft, Xbox, Phil Spencer take nothing but flack for exclusives. They have 24 studios. Probably, if you do the count, making approximately 50 games right now exclusively for Xbox.
Right.
Minus maybe 10 or so from Bethesda.
Right.
Okay?
It's about fucking time.
That's still like 40 games. Now, it's about fucking time. You're damn fucking straight. And granted, most of these games aren't coming out at launch. Like, we're still like 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls and Starfield is like a 2022 to 2024, I'm sure. But we'll see.
Go ahead.
But it's a good fucking time to see. We still haven't seen the fruit of this, but finally we said Microsoft has all the money in the world. They've been taking our money. I mean, we've been happy to give them our money, but they've been taking our money as fans for the last, assuming you've had it since the OG Xbox, almost 20 years now. And they're actually taking that and putting it back into the gamers. And I think it's a fantastic thing. I think it's a great time to be an Xbox fan. I think if you're able to afford both consoles, go for both consoles. But Game Pass, I truly believe Game Pass and xCloud is the way of the future.
Yep.
And I honestly believe, and I stand strong by it, that while some games might go to PlayStation 1, 2, 3 years down the line, they want you in their service. So unless Game Pass is coming to PlayStation, I don't see it. I don't see it happening because they don't want that one-time $70 fee that Sony takes a cut out of. They want a person in their service month after month after month for years to come.
Right. Guess we'll see how it plays out.
We'll see. Either way, it's an exciting time to be.
Yeah, it is.
It's an exciting time. I mean, I've often, most generations had all the consoles anyway. I've often sold my Nintendo. I sold my Wii, my Wii U. I've sold my PS3. I've sold my PS4, and I've always kept with Xbox. But that doesn't mean that Xbox hasn't frustrated me immensely in the past. And I'm the first person to say, I'm the first person to say that this generation has absolutely been trash for exclusives. And I know we've had the argument that, oh, well, who really cares about exclusives? I'm sorry, but that coin would be flipped if all those PlayStation games were Xbox exclusives. You'd be just as happy and happier if you had those awesome exclusives and things
I mean, if Spider-Man were on Xbox,
yeah,
not
and things like that make Game Pass more valuable. Things like that make the console more valuable. Things like that make you as an adopter of this service, this console, this company. All right, boys. Chaos reigns.
I just want to take a. I'm not doing that. I just want to take a moment and point out that Kyle has probably just screenshotted himself and is taking a nap in the background because I don't think he hasn't moved in ages.
His face moved. He really hasn't moved.
He's been sitting there so stoically listening to all this.
Didn't even say like a yes. Mm-hmm. Or no.
This podcast is Xbox fanboy as fuck. That's probably.
Oh, I just want it to be known. I was not defending my point from an Xbox fan point view. I was defending it from a purely corporate greed view.
Fair enough.
I think
Sean was fan.
Well, I spoke very much. Derek froze. I spoke very much from a business perspective as well. I also spoke from a business perspective, but as people who play primarily on Xbox, it's a great time.
Fanboy, you just fanboy everywhere. It's a great time to be an
Xbox adopter. Okay, it's a great time to be in Game Pass. And for all that hard-earned time and money we've put into it, it's a great time. There's no question about it.
Just fanboy.
And if you have a PC and you don't want an Xbox, you can play it all there. Like, I don't know how anyone can think that's a bad thing.
It's a whole... sorry, that's not... Okay.
The way you talk about Game Pass sounds like a fucking ad every time you open your mouth, Sean. If you don't want to play it on Xbox, you can play it on PC right now with the power of Xbox.
We're secretly being paid by Microsoft to push Game Pass.
The power of Xbox.
The power of Xbox. No, but really, like,
we're gonna look for the sake of not driving ourselves crazy on the same topic now.
May I just clarify one item?
I have no
you may.
Okay, so folding at home was what
okay.
It's called. It's a distributed computing project aimed to help scientists develop new therapeutics to a variety of diseases. Okay, it utilized GP, PlayStation 3s, and other interfaces to do this. So yes, that was their one big boy move. The folding at home project.
I don't think that's like a big boy move, but that's cool.
Oh, it's like a big boy move.
It's like 5 scientific research papers as a direct result of this service.
Huh.
Big boy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And what has happened? What has happened to since then?
Well, Sony stopped the support for it since then. It still exists, but it uses other computers. It exists at Washington University in St. Louis, and is led by Greg Bowman and former student Vijay Pandey. So it's still going. It's not Sony.
That sounds made up. Totally made up.
Look it up.
Interesting.
No, I mean that guy's name totally made up.
Totally made up. 100% fake news.
God.
But yeah, there's been a lot of news lately. It's been good stuff. I'm excited for next gen.
Yeah, same.
I think if you want to get into PlayStation, nothing wrong with that. And if you want to get an Xbox, nothing wrong with that either. If you want to do neither, but you want to play Xbox games, you can do that in many places. Like it's a good time. It's a good time to be a gamer. I'm excited. I'm sad I didn't get my Series X pre-order, but as I said, as somebody who works in retail, I'm sure I can somehow. Now Derek's taking a screen. Derek's Discord is struggling with him tonight, eh?
It is, yeah.
No, it's my cam. I need I'm not sure what it is. It might be the wire, it might be the actual USB port, but it's struggling. The cam struggles to stay connected now, so I need to buy a new webcam at some point.
Despite my bias towards Xbox, honestly, I'm happy. If you want to go play PlayStation, that's good. they're showing just as much interesting things as Xbox, except for like the whole Bethesda buyout and Game Pass and stuff like that. Like it is so, and we'll see what the future leads. At launch, I think they're all kind of the same right now, to be honest with you. Like on paper at launch, they're all like Xbox. I think
I would like to.
The percentage of strength is a very small percentage, but that percentage Eric told me because on stat wise it's like 0.1% or whatever, but it's like actually 11% more powerful or whatever than the PlayStation. But it doesn't matter. Like to me, that stuff, that those little details don't do anything for me. I could just as easily get the S and be happy with my purchase.
I couldn't. I feel like it wasn't future proof.
No, it's
but
not
that depends.
future-proof.
That depends if you plan to get a 4K TV, though. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have a 4K TV, you technically
If you don't have a
need
four,
Yeah, no, it's created to cater to a more.
I don't think 1080 is going anywhere. I don't think 1080p is going to be eradicated from TV shows. Like I think like 4K and 1080 will just always exist moving forward. Like it's just like there's lots of people who there are people who visibly are like watch them side by side and are like I don't see the difference and don't care about the difference.
Yeah.
I don't care about the difference. I notice the difference, but I don't care about the difference. But if I had a 4K TV, which I plan to get at some point, but I don't think like 4K will ever be like the standard necessarily, and you won't ever be able to find a 1080p TV ever.
Fair.
But either way, Microsoft gave you options. If you want it one way or the other, if you're on a budget, they gave you a next gen option. And like I said, at launch, they all seem kind of similar for what they're offering. I'm just happy as an Xbox guy that Microsoft does seem to be batting for gamers.
Yep, I'm with that. I can agree to that. Yeah.
And lots of money, but
yeah,
but that also profits us. So I literally like I was saying, we barely buy. Like I was thinking about it going forward. Like I may have to buy like one game a year, which is insane.
Seriously.
Let's not get it crooked here either. Like Microsoft is definitely going to increase the price of Game Pass at some point. Like it's not going to stay at the price.
No, they're increasing. They're going to increase the Game Pass price probably January.
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I doubled down on the year right now.
I don't think January. I think that's too
January.
soon. Because that's too soon. I think because that's the new consoles just launching out. Just had their Xbox sales. They're going to want people in longer. Like maybe by next Christmas. Next Christmas, guarantee you it's going up, but not that soon. Like Netflix was really cheap for a long time, and I feel like Game Pass is still fairly new, in retrospect. And now launching with the new gen and pushing this new acquisition, I don't think they're going to raise that price yet, at least until next year Christmas time. But you might have a harder time getting those $1 deals. I think they might start blocking those out or phasing those out.
Yeah, definitely. Woo! What a conversation! Holy fuck!
I agree. It was good. I mean, I'm glad we talked about that. That was actually pretty awesome. So
it was good, yeah, because you know the whole industry's talking about it, right? So why not us, right?
Yeah, and everyone has their opinions, their ideas, and that's what makes a good conversation, right? Is being able to express those and get through them and
totally
blah blah blah, all that.
Or you can take a screenshot of yourself and not put anything into the comments.
I'd fall asleep.
Bruh. Okay. All right.
I want to interject and say that bruh was actually perfect for this scenario. Okay?
Yeah, it was.
I just wanted to say it.
Let's point out though that as the only person who actually plays PlayStation here.
I have a PS4.
That's a lie.
Here.
That's a lie.
Okay,
but okay,
all right,
continue.
All right. No, on a consistent basis. Sorry, Alex. I should have been more.
Yeah, I don't play consistently. No.
Yeah, on a it's hard to get in any sort of talk about it, right? Like,
it is. Yeah,
it's very hard to talk about it without everybody just losing interest or just not caring in the first place. In a group of four guys who are mostly Xbox, right? Like,
I don't lose interest though. Like
I pretend to lose interest when you talk about like looking into your heart and shit, but I still listen. I still find it interesting because it's in spirit. It's part of the Gamecast, right? It's part of the conversation.
I just want you guys to know, public service announcement, your guys' favorite game is now up for pre-order on the Xbox Store.
Oh yeah, I saw it too.
Balin Wonderlands.
Balin Wonderworld.
Oh my
It's
god.
available for pre-order. Right now.
I already pre-ordered the deluxe edition, bro, on every console. I don't even
I
have a PlayStation 4.
I
don't even
pre-ordered
have
the
a PS5.
Ultimate Gold Deluxe Edition, right? Like the premium Ultimate Gold Deluxe Delition.
Is it like the?
And-
is it like?
and Derek-
does it come
Derek
like a little lock with like a heart-shaped key? Like look into your heart.
No,
You gotta open up the
legit.
box and there's like a heart.
Legit,
You know what?
legit. Go to the store page and tell me that like it's the most ridiculous box
It actually
art.
looks bad. It actually
It's
looks bad.
fucking ridiculous. It looks so dumb.
What was I gonna
It
say?
looks
So,
like
Just give me a sec.
on the Sony. While Derek's looking that up,
Finally,
huh?
yeah, I've had it for a little bit. Derek got the new store finally.
just got it.
Oh,
The
yeah.
While Derek's looking that up, talking about Sony doesn't disinterest me at all. I've owned every PlayStation up until the PS4, so every PlayStation. I had the PS1, PS2, PS3,
Oh my god.
PS4, and I can talk for a whole episode about Dreams, for example, which is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Derek and I can probably talk about Uncharted 2 for a whole episode if you want. Just because I'm not
Oh, yeah.
invested into it doesn't mean I'm not interested in it. I'm sad that I never like. I love Dark Souls and the Souls games. I'm sad that I didn't put more time into Bloodborne, but
It's
I
gonna
don't
get
like. I don't like the PlayStation
Yeah.
controller.
That's some
And-
disgusting ass cover art, by the way.
I don't like. The
It is
PlayStation
disgusting ass
controller.
cover art. See, I was right. Okay.
Dark Souls 3 was out around the time that I started playing it, and Bloodborne graphically compared to Dark Souls 3 looked like ass to me at the time.
That's weird.
There's many.
That's weird. I always thought it looked better.
Yeah, me
there's-
too, but-
Texture wise, it doesn't. Like the art
Really?
style, I can see it in art style. Oh no, texture and like frame rates is compared to Dark Souls 3. No, there's not as much detail there. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, Demon Souls looks like Demon Souls. I could pre-order a PlayStation for that game. I'm super jelly of the guys
Yeah,
on
You're gonna
PlayStation. Like,
recast.
so these are all interesting conversations for me personally, and
Yeah.
I have experience in it. And there's a world where I might own a PlayStation 5 in the future. Like, you never know. I've owned every other PlayStation console. It's just from my past experience, my back catalog is on Xbox. My friends are on Xbox. Pretty much every Xbox service is better than the PlayStation one, which makes it easy to stay there. The only thing that's been holding us back is games. Like if PlayStation didn't have those exclusives, why would we even have to go there? And that includes, I know that includes the ones that you play, Kyle, which are Japanese exclusives that probably nobody here knows about, has ever heard of, and they have a very niche, small population of
Yes, they do.
buyers. But
Yep.
those are still exclusive to that console, and those are games that I like as well. Like I really miss that Microsoft doesn't have any of that stuff anymore. And I know it's because people say, well,
Now,
they gave up on the Japanese market because they're never going to break it. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't give their fan base options. Like Eternal Sonata was a fantastic RPG. Lost
No,
Odyssey
I
was a
didn't-
fantastic RPG. Blue Dragon, those games were fantastic. But just a side note for everyone, I just want to say it's pretty amazing too that Microsoft is basically now the go-to. Xbox is the go-to Western RPG console. Have you noticed that?
Well, it's
They
not
are-
hard. Xbox is primed to recapture that, like that go-to status.
Like
for West.
for Western RPGs, like they have Obsidian, they have In Exile, they have Bethesda, they have technically Playground is also making an RPG. They have anyway, so it's like,
Yeah.
so anyway, I do hope that I do hope that we see them continue to push this and bring some more. Like, I don't want to see like the only thing that bothers me about this acquisition too is that like Avowed to me looked like Elder Scrolls, like a version of Elder Scrolls.
It really
You know what I
did, yeah.
mean? So I don't know now if I want two games in the same space. I'm sure they won't come out around each other because they're not that stupid.
No, yeah, like
But-
about
But Microsoft has enough studios and talent that they can pad this out through. You know what I mean? Like you can probably get a solid release once every 3 months for like the next 10 years from each studio, and always have like a solid exclusive, maybe even every month going forward, like year 2022 or something like that. But
see, one thing that that Microsoft will always have over Sony is money. because
but-
because Microsoft is a tech giant and Sony is a
Yeah.
relatively in comparison a much smaller company, right?
But in the past, Microsoft didn't do much to show us how they were.
No, yeah, because for
money.
instance,
like
Sony would never be able to afford a buyout of a company that big.
No, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
Now,
yeah, but let's also remember this is probably not something like we probably just in terms of like of history making buyouts, right? I mean, you'd never think of a buyout no, that's not true. There have been historical buyouts in the past. This is probably not something that we're ever really likely to witness again.
No, we're not gonna.
No.
Like, okay, so
that
leads me into
was impressive. Like,
okay, so that leads me into one thing that I wanted to talk about, and I really didn't want to talk about it after all this Microsoft talk, but like, I'll bring it up. So there's another rumor going around of another potential major either partnership or acquisition.
Oh, with Microsoft?
Yes.
Sega, right? The Sega one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I sent you guys all that message actually, but nobody responded. But
well, no, I didn't see you send me a message. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, I sent this like last week. Derek ignored. Alex ignored.
Okay, so
they didn't ignore. They read around it.
I didn't catch it. So
they read around it. But yeah, they're talking. They're even going to say that they're even going as far to say that they might call it the Sega Xbox in Japan.
So that would make sense if they called it the Sega Xbox, Alex. It would make people in Japan much less hesitant to get it because Microsoft, the Microsoft Xbox is just to them since the original has just been a shit system that they don't care about.
Isn't Persona Sega?
That's where I was getting. Okay, so with the acquisition, basically the rumors are circulating because of some of them are a stretch. I'll give you that. The things I've seen, some of the reasons are stretch. Someone was like, "Oh, the blue controllers like Sonic colors," and I'm like, "Okay, that's fucking pushing it. All right, that's pushing it. Okay." But a historically granted it's already out on PlayStation 4 in Japan, so I can see why it's not, but the fact that Yakuza Like a Dragon is not a PlayStation 5 launch game and it is to be dated but on PS5, but it is a launch exclusive for the Xbox Series X, with that being such a huge Sega franchise, that's a hint. The fact that this is there's a few other things floating around, but yeah, like you said, Sean, if they manage to either have a very good working partnership with, I don't think it'll be a full acquisition. I think they'll have a very good working partnership with Sega, and that will help them break into the Japanese market. Now, does that mean I think if they bought them out, yes, you're right, they would have Atlas, and that would mean that they would have Persona, Catherine, which they won't make another game for that anyway, but they'll be able to
the Switch version though, right?
Well, no, yeah, but I'm talking about they'll be able to release the full-bodied version on that system then, but they'll also be able to go into the entire back catalog of Atlas, and there's a lot of games there's a lot on my PS4 shelf over there.
Oh, there's so many.
That is Atlas stuff.
I think Sega has way more than
Sega has more developers than
probably more like B grade stuff compared to Bethesda. Like there's a lot of like, but I would say that games like Atlas is like a hit or miss too. Like Atlas is a hit or miss, but
yes.
they are catering to a niche, like we explained. Like not everyone wants to play a Jap anime. Not everyone wants to play Azura's Wrath. You know, like.
Right.
Yeah, there are a lot of Sega games that are definitely like.
But there's a market for
I'd honestly say
like,
if they were to have a good working relationship with Sega, it would give them an opportunity to jump into Japan proper. Because there's a lot of still, even though it's technically not a console manufacturer, you could think of it, most people would think of it as a defunct company, but they still make a large amount of money in Japan. They're a big game developer in Japan. and they own tons of stuff, developers, arcades, all sorts of stuff. So that would be their kind of break-in if they were to partner with Sega.
I want to add an interesting tidbit to this as well, is that I hope this rumor is true, and I hope it's true. Also,
I don't think
thinking about the
partnership,
thinking about the I say Japanese, but really just like the Asia market. Okay.
Yeah.
Even PlayStation isn't that well received anymore. They're all about their like mobile gaming portability and stuff like that. Like they still sell. PlayStation sells way more than Xbox out there, but in comparison to the West, like the console sales, the only reason why the numbers might seem larger is because of the actual population is like quadruple what we have. But
yeah,
the actual reception of it is in the size of houses and stuff like that. People are more about their mobile stuff. And this is an interesting space. This is an interesting space because Microsoft and xCloud, once again, like if they were to get something like if they were to get a big Sega developer into Game Pass, like I don't know if Sega's like the biggest developer, but you get the drift. If they were to get that kind of talent to appeal to that market and to the niche West market of it, and it's in Game Pass and it's on xCloud on any Android, which in Asia it's more Android than it is Apple because they like their homegrown. Because they're smart. They're smart and they like their homegrown stuff. They like to support their stuff. Like in Japan, they don't in Asia.
Well, that's the big reason for the lack of Microsoft push is because Sony and Nintendo are Japanese companies. They've been Japanese companies since the beginning, right? So
it would be very interesting to see how that all works out, and I hope it is. My only question to all this is: were you kind of done on that little topic?
Yeah. Because it's still
I'm sure Derek doesn't care. I'm sure Alex probably doesn't care that much, but I really hope it's true.
It's looking like there's no actual acquisition.
I don't think there'll be an acquisition. I think, like I said, if they do, they'll just have a better working partnership.
What I want to know is
better working partnership.
Was this Bethesda buyout a failure? Like plan B after Warner Bros. Didn't work out, or were they discussing both of those perhaps? Because in the media they were talking about Warner Bros. They were originally going to buy Warner Brothers games,
right?
And did that not work out? So Bethesda was plan B, or were they originally in the talks of talking to both these guys? And if that's the case, that's even more likely that they were talking to Sega as well. If
Warner Brothers is your plan A and Bethesda is your plan B, you've got your plan wrong.
One last tidbit of that question, just something to think about, is have these talks been going on for a long time, or was this that big Microsoft needs to open up their wallet because we don't have a launch title?
Yes.
Like, do you think this is like a last minute? We got to do something.
I think $8 billion spent would not happen that fast.
I think this has been in talks since like June at least. Personally,
I'd say probably longer than that. If Derek's right on this, $7.5 billion doesn't get into talks. They were talking 2019. I'd say at least.
But at the same time, I did say when's Microsoft a couple episodes ago. I said when's Microsoft going to open up their wallet and surprise us, and they did it the day before pre-orders opened up. Nothing that's going to come exclusively day one, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But they opened up their wallet mighty big for us. Maybe Phil Spencer listens to our pod. Maybe we force
send us some swag,
Phil. If you're there,
send us some swag,
you dick. Chat.
Hi, Phil.
Whoops! I just hit my capture card.
So yeah, so those questions, those encompassing questions. Was this a jerk reaction in somewhat to Halo being delayed and that they need to be seen in positive light?
No, not possible.
But do you think they were planning to announce this now or later on down the lines? That's another thing too, because apparently, even though all the things say $8 billion in cash, apparently the actual inner workings, the deal hadn't officially been completed at this point. I don't think it's. I wonder if this was it wasn't drawn up. But if they've been talking since June, you think something like this would have been a little more planned.
Like I said, I think with 7.5 billion, Sean, I think they've been talking since, and this is just a guess, but I want to say since 76 started turning into a giant shitter.
Bro, it takes us like 6 to 8 months, sometimes almost a year to buy a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way this was a 3-month talk negotiation.
2019, I'd say a bare minimum that they were talking to Bethesda.
But at the same time, do you think that it was originally planned to announce this now, though? You know what I mean? Or was the announcement right before the pre-orders and after the delay of Halo, kind of like a calculated plus, something that they didn't calculate to do that. Like, I don't know if they wanted to make this announcement yet. Like, I don't think they would have wanted to have overshadowed Halo Infinite's launch on the Series X by making this kind of announcement, personally.
No, I don't think they would have. Maybe you're right about
it's hard
that.
To
Halo
say. It's hard to say, but I'm sure that they didn't buy this. I'm sure they didn't buy. Like Derek said, this doesn't happen like over one night. It wasn't like, oh shit, we don't have anything at launch, let's open up our wallet. I believe that this has been in talks for a long time, and I do believe that other companies. Rumors said Warner Bros. So if I wonder how many companies Microsoft has been reaching out to, and how many more we are going to see. I'm hoping the Sega rumors are true. Personally, from my perspective, I would really hope that, because I really do want some good Japanese RPGs and other like quirky Japanese games making their way onto Xbox.
I do. I swear, like, you should at least go back and get a PS4 then, because there's so many quirky Japanese. I could show you guys so much stuff. You'd love it.
But again, I don't like trophies. Actually, I don't like their controllers. I don't like their online services.
Let me explain it. Derek wouldn't. I know that.
But like I said, there's so many.
You can do a special episode of the podcast. All right.
But like I said, there's so many things that I don't like about the PlayStation that for me to go out of my way to play it there, to not care about trophies, to not be able to talk to any of my friends while I'm playing those things, to not share those moments, like those things matter to me more than the game itself. If those things mattered to me that much, I would have played God of War and Spider-Man while I had a PlayStation, and I didn't. And it's not because I didn't want to. Those are great games. I agree, I should have. I'm sure they're great games that I would have loved. But for me, like, there's a lot being taken out of it because I'm not on my primary console where my friends are, where I can share, where I can, like, hey guys, look at my 200K gamer score. Did you guys get that one achievement in Spider-Man? I don't want to talk about trophies with nobody that I talk to on my PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, what was that, Alex? You're so quiet.
Sorry, I said, yeah, I can totally understand that. And I do try to like push through that because I do plan to play Spider-Man and God of War. But again, it always comes back to like, it's just not exciting in a way.
Talk to me, son. Talk to me.
The most fun I had doing my PlayStation really was playing Neo and streaming it. But then Alex was like watching me at those time. And like to go and play Neo and not have somebody watch me on stream, it's like that's not as exciting for me. Even though Neo was a fantastic game, and I know I'm missing out on Neo too. Playing Dreams, I had a fantastic time with, but again, it's such like a on the PlayStation. It feels like it's a solo experience for me, like most of their games, which isn't a terrible thing, but I don't know. It's just. Like I said, plus the controller I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like how the controller for the plug and play is like 2 feet long. Like, who the hell designed that?
Yeah, sure.
I hated that so much.
It's like I literally have to sit on a different couch to do it. If you say there's a longer proprietary I can buy, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but default out of the box, fucking Xbox cords don't exist. You to get a battery pack. At least,
that's right. But to put in 2 AA batteries, I don't have to get up my ass. They're plugged into the wall, like right next to me. Like to have to run to the store and get, if I don't have any batteries in the house, to run to the store and get batteries. Yeah, I can agree. But it's much like,
no, but I'm saying like buying a battery pack for the Xbox controller, which is something you should regardless do.
You should do but you can put AA batteries in there too, and you're just as good. If you really want to. And for me to go upstairs and like get a coffee and get 2 new AA batteries, this isn't what I do, by the way. I use the play and charge kit. But if I was in this scenario that my controller is dead, my controller is dead and I don't have a play and charge kit, I go upstairs, I have a smoke, make my coffee, get 2 AA batteries, back to playing. The PlayStation, I literally, the only way I can keep playing is to sit 2 feet away from my 50-inch screen TV on a completely different sofa. That's not what I want when I'm comfy and playing video games, personally. And it's not even like a lazy aspect. Like I said, like I can go to the store and get AA batteries if I have to get it that much. It's the fact that I'm not sitting where I want to comfortably sit to play my console.
It's like how people don't want to sit at a computer desk to play video. Oh wait, no, some people do that. That's
yeah, that's fine by me. Like if they want to do that, but it's not for me. Like even doing the podcast, I get my ass. I don't have an ass. If you guys don't know this about me, and it's super uncomfortable when you're like,
look, I'm chilling on my couch. I'm just like, when you're
6'5", 280 pounds, and you have no ass, it is not comfortable to sit places. Okay, like I can't sit cross-legged on the floor comfortably. This is not something I'm good at. So like to sit at a computer, it's very hard for me to like sit there and do things.
Fair enough.
I do it, but it's hard. So was there anything else I wanted to cover? Did you guys want to add to that about, was it a knee-jerk reaction? What other studios are they talking about acquiring? Or?
No.
Yeah, I think we pretty much agree that it wasn't knee-jerk, right?
No, it was definitely not knee-jerk.
It's possible to be knee-jerk in a way, right?
Yeah, like Derek said, it's
$7.5
billion. You cannot knee-jerk.
The one point that Sean made that
gotta go to the bathroom. Sorry,
it could be not knee jerk was the timing of the announcement, right? Like that you could argue it was either yes or no, but in the end it comes down to it. The base argument is it could have been a extremely well strategized plan thing, or they said, "Hey, pre-orders are gonna be dropping. Let's drop this bombshell news."
Right. Yeah.
It gets to a point where debating those finer details is just.
It's like, what's really the doing so, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, whilst he's going to the bathroom, do you guys have any games that you wanted to quickly go through, or?
Yeah. So I beat Avengers campaign, and as I was saying to you, Derek, it's actually awesome as hell. And I recommend that at a price that is like fair for just a 10-hour campaign. I'm still playing it also. Like I'm still doing like the beat a bunch of guys up, get gear, get levels, because I just like the combat also. But I don't think that would appeal to most people. So my recommendation for Avengers would be like if you can grab that for $40, it'd be worth it if you're a superhero fan.
That's what I did. But
how are you finding the actual like looter grind gear aspect of it?
Yeah, so I'm still playing it. Like I haven't given up on that stuff yet. I was just doing some Captain America dailies to get more, because they have like each character has like a mini battle pass that comes free with it's not paid, but you get like other costumes and stuff if you complete their dailies and weeklies per character.
Okay.
So that has been somewhat interesting and fun, but at the end of the day, it's a bunch of beat 'em ups with either by yourself or with Randy's, right? That's what it comes down to. And I've enjoyed the combat and leveling up, but the gear's so boring and uninteresting. So from a gear standpoint, I don't think it really does what it needed to do to keep people's interest long term. So I don't think it's like a Destiny competitor. I don't think it's.
So if I put gear lackluster, that would be a correct thing to take note of. Yeah.
Yes, the gear is extremely lackluster. Like lackluster doesn't even.
It doesn't change your appearance in any way, Derek.
It doesn't change your appearance even. Yeah.
Well, I mean more like for example, like comparing it to like the Division 2, where you can make a tech build, tank build, tank DPS. So that is completely uninteresting.
Well, yeah, there are builds where it's like, oh, this does gamma damage. Like right now, I have gamma damage on my Captain America shield, and certain missions will expand. Like gamma damage deals double in this mission, so it's like, yeah, you want your gamma set, but outside of that, there's nothing like anywhere close to Division's like build differentials and stuff like that. There's nothing close to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, because I was playing. I think I was doing a playthrough of one of the missions with Salt a couple days ago, and I saw a build that I had never thought was
Like
viable. That was actually viable, and it was a status effect build.
Holy shit. Yeah. See,
Yeah, it was pretty fucking savage.
In Division, you're talking about?
yeah. So
Compared to
Sean,
Destiny?
I was just
No,
saying.
compared to Avengers.
Yeah, I
Oh,
finished
okay.
a campaign and really liked it, and would really recommend like a very bargain purchase of the game just to play that. And I'm still playing the gear hunting, like beat 'em up for XP and leveling my guys up because there's all these achievements related to it. And I actually do like the combat, but I would never recommend to this to be seen as like a game as a service that you're gonna put like 300 hours into. It's just not that interesting. So.
I liked the combat, but was I wrong to believe that it kind of feels like you're just always fighting the same kind of enemies nonstop?
No, that is true. That is,
Yeah.
I would say that is true about the game. They do like it's always either humans or robots, but there are some awesome boss fights, which are fun. But outside of that, yeah, you were correct that it's like the same. It's like Power Rangers fighting the putty dudes kind of deal.
I
That's a good comparison.
I have not played any. I have not played anything new, but I did finish. I did finish DLC 4 of Borderlands 3. Finishing Season 1 of Borderlands 3 content.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. And they've announced that they're planning to continue. Like before Christmas, they're going to be coming out with another paid expansion, which will add another class to every character, another skill tree, I should say, to each character.
Okay.
And apparently a new game mode. I'm really hoping it's like a endless kind, or not endless, but like kind of like a Diablo dungeon crawling. Endless in the sense that it's very repeatable, right? Like very repeatable, but different each time.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping for. But other than that, I'm looking forward to get back into Destiny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted to say I played that. Right. Actually, thank you for mentioning that. I played it. And as I was saying before this, I was kind of confused because your guy gets auto leveled to like 750 light or something like that, right? Like my warlock is my main character. In fact, my only character was a warlock, and he got to 750 light. And then I'm like, oh, let's make a Titan. So he is 750 light also, but I was at the start of the game, which was kind of weird to me. Like, and I don't know if it's just because I have to go through the tutorial where the robot guy wakes me up and blah blah blah. But I didn't stick around to find out because I'm like, well, this seems like a waste of time. But I was of the opinion that not only would it jump my level, but it would bring me to kind of the end, so to speak. But I will say this about the game. Okay, so when I got in with my warlock, I was doing like the shadow keep stuff, I guess. So I was fighting these shadow monsters, and it was like the gunplay was really fun. Like it was really clean, really fun.
So you were doing shadow keep on the moon?
It wasn't on the moon. I was fighting these big giant diamond eye things that were like huge.
Oh,
in the
was
sky.
it like they were like black and kind of like transparency colored?
Oh, and blackish, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Taken.
That's the
Oh,
Taken.
Right? There's like
Yeah,
they're shadow taken kind of. They're like black and weird. Like
That's just
Yeah.
the Taken, yeah.
yeah.
okay, so anyway,
Different
that's
versions of the Taken. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the mission I was doing as my warlock, which apparently my warlock was a Palpatine guy. Like I have like lightning and shit. It was kind of fun. But
That's cool.
warlock wouldn't be my main go-to. That's why I was like, I'd rather be a Titan. I'd rather like have a shield. Like, but you know, I'm not gonna restart the whole fucking game. So.
Yeah, well, the thing about I haven't played in a long time, so I can't confirm. So I wasn't sure how this worked, but obviously they're boosting your light level, so you can hop into the new stuff. If you don't want to play the story, I don't think you have to.
Oh,
but
really?
I don't think you have to. But to completely remove that option would be silly at the same time. Like,
true. So maybe I have to like go back to HQ and then pick a different mission after.
I think starting, say, as a Titan, that you would have to at least go through to the point in the story where you're at the tower.
Okay, because that's where
Yeah, because it's the social hub. You launch
It's the
everything.
social hub. Like you start the farm was the first social hub in the Destiny, but because of what happened at the tower.
Yeah.
But
and then
would you even have to though necessarily? Because you can load into somebody else's game without even being at that point. Like if
True.
Derek's already there, you select your character and you load into his world directly.
Oh yeah,
So
no, but
I'm
I mean,
not
like
sure
if
it would stop
Like
you.
I just
But
had
he would-
gray weapons
he
on my
would have to
Titan, and on my warlock I had this like gun that was it was like a exotic, I guess, or legendary, but it had a chance to always reload itself. So I was literally dumping endlessly with this gun, and it was a lot of fun.
Was yellow in color?
I think it was yellow, yeah.
Yeah,
But my
that's
turn
exotic.
did not have. He had just bullshit, shitty ass gray shit. So anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway,
But you can transfer that from your one guy to the other.
Oh, can I? Okay.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
yeah.
No, not Titan armor. You can't get the Warlock stuff. Can't go to Titan.
He said gun.
Oh, guns. Yeah, not exotics though.
Yeah,
Exotics are binding. I thought.
yeah, but you unlock them in that thing that you can.
Oh
pay to
yeah, then you
remove
have
them.
to make. You
So
have to
once
make
Alex
them, though.
receives it, yeah, he has to make it, but make it. You don't need like a million materials. It's like you pay like a small amount of whatever easy currency it is to get, and you get it out of there. I'm excited to get back into that game, and I've said this before. Now, this game, I don't think you need to play the whole story again, and I hope you don't. If you have to get through the tutorial, do it. But I think the sooner we get to the new content and the sooner we get into a raid, the more fun you'll have, because that's where you're missing out the most fun, honestly. Like where you're going to see a difference between a game like Division and Destiny and like a raid that's where you need to see it.
The raids are and even just the nightfalls are part of the.
Yeah, but nightfalls are like difficult, but they're not like.
No. Strikes are difficult, but not really meh. Nightfalls are difficult now, but they didn't used to be. And the raid is ridiculous.
Nightfalls were always basically just difficult versions of the strikes, though. Like always, that's what they were. But they're still just a linear point A to point B do set objective, whereas a raid is something entirely different, right? Like a raid is you need to be in a party chat with the 6 people, and you need to communicate, and you actually need to understand the mechanics. And like I only played the first one with Derek, and I mean we must have at this point beat it a few times probably when we did it, but it was not easy. Like it was not easy, and it was easier when you had like a good team of people who were communicating well.
The first raid in Destiny 2?
Yeah, and it was easier knowing the mechanics, but like basically it was broken down into 3 rooms, and each room was like different mechanics. Was it 4? Yeah.
My crew on PlayStation had already fallen apart by the time that the first Destiny 2 raid came out, so that wasn't. I never got to experience that raid, so I'd want to do it now. But
I would love to do it. That's what I want to do the most. Like I don't want to go and play Crucible with you guys. Hey, bro,
I'd reinstall Destiny Call of Duty if I wanted to do fucking Crucible.
We can, like if we're trying to get gear to do a raid.
If you want gear, yeah, sure, yeah.
I'll go and do Crucible with you guys and have fun doing it. But that's not like why I want to play Destiny. Like I really want to do the raids. Like my main goal here is I want to do all the raids.
I'm just gonna mess around with the game a little bit. I still don't know if I am like of the mindset that I'm subscribed to some raid yet.
Alex,
like you know what I mean? Like where I mean like where I have to put time and energy in like deducing what the fuck I want to do and not just shoot people.
Well, it's not there's not really time and energy. It's pretty much like, okay, like to give you an example, in Destiny 1, there was this center, I can't remember what raid it was, but there was this center thing, and you had to stay there while one person ran to grab an orb, and then a bunch of Taken or Hive or whatever they were came at that one person, and so you had to have someone with you. So you had to always, one person had to be in the middle, and a couple guys had to go to the right side and then come back to the middle, and someone had to do that same thing on the left, but there's that one person had to stay in the middle. Right. If you accidentally stepped off, you fucked it, everybody up, you had to start it again. So
yeah, there are different jobs that are like less important. They're important. Like all the jobs are important, but there are jobs that are more straightforward when doing these raids where it's like, okay, Alex, you have to clear out this throne room with one other guy or 2 other guys. All you guys got to do is continuously fight the wave of enemies while this other guy is in the Shadow Realm dodging impossible to dodge vortex, dodge barriers, and kill everyone. You can't miss a single shot, otherwise you fuck it up and you can't do any damage to the boss, for example. Like there are more basic jobs in that.
I can just say that when I was like pulling out a rocket launcher and firing at this giant eye thing, he had like an S name, I don't know, and then I killed like 2 of them, and they were super hard. And then the cutscene happens, and there's like 7 of them, and I'm like, it's like epic Halo music. It's like there's no way we can win. And I was like, okay, this is quite cool, man.
Yeah, that's
Really.
there's
Well,
a lot
you
of cool
enjoyed the
moments
story
like
when you
that.
played through it. Didn't you say that you enjoyed the story? You're like, this is kind of cool. I love this dude.
Yeah, I was super pissed that it gave me no achievements for beating the fucking game.
Alex, I'd say that even if you don't want to do like the main story, like or oh no, you did do the main story, right?
I did. I have a warlock who's completed the main
Do
story.
even if you don't want to do any of the like the side things before jumping into say Shadowkeep, definitely do the story for the in the Reef for Cade 6 if you haven't done that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of that, so it just for me, I was like,
It's a
I'd rather
tearjerker.
Titan has like a Captain America shield. I'm like, I want that. I want that shit. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, it was cool, and I'll play it, but I'm not committing to like long term or anything. I'll check it out again. So.
I'm glad at how easy it was to fucking link everything. Bungie just made me go, "Oh, what's your gamer tag?" Cool, it's linked. All right, you can access your hunter from the thing, and I loaded it up briefly.
Wait, so you repopulated your guy from Sony to Xbox? Is that right?
Yes, and if I want to, I could take anything that I've like. I just can't take any Shadowkeep stuff because I didn't buy Shadowkeep, so I didn't any Shadowkeep stuff I can't bring back over. So really, I've just decided to commit to this one now. I'm probably going to uninstall it on PlayStation, but
okay.
Yeah, no, like I could bring my character to either console interchangeably, just log in with it on whatever console.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it seems promising, like more promising than I remember anyway. But maybe it's some time away. It did me some good, you know, in my hatred of it.
Destiny, it was one, even especially the first one. The second one I didn't really know because like I said, our group had kind of all fallen apart. So the second one I didn't really notice as much. Like I played through the main campaign and maybe a little bit extra, but not too much. But the first one, they kept doing so much different stuff, changing so many different things to make it more unique and more fun in different ways that I enjoyed that game probably more than any like looter shooter that I've ever played because of the things that they did.
Right.
Whereas like I said, I think the only reason that I haven't enjoyed this one in that same way is because just the group fell apart. Group dynamic in Destiny, I think, is a big
on that
called Coleman Latz. Made me laugh.
on the flip note of that is that the only reason why I've put so much time into it is because I played tons with Derek. Like our reconnecting phase was on Destiny, and I didn't play. Like I love Destiny 1. But like Eric and like Mitch got it at the same time as I did, and they never like Eric thought he would like an RPG, and I knew he wouldn't from the start of it.
Yeah.
That's not
these
an
guys,
Eric thing.
But he was like, "Oh, it's made by Bungie. It's gonna be a Halo. It's gonna be great." And he literally loaded it up like the first day, and that was it. Like he never played it again.
Next room and fight the next guy. It's like, yeah. What
yeah. And Mitch, you know, like Mitch likes the game, but Mitch is like it's a hit or miss whether or not he's online or not. So it's like these are games that are strongly dependent on like your online presence and stuff. And this is like also why I can't like fathom investing into Avengers even, because I'm going to play like maybe a sort of fun campaign and then basically miss out of like 80% of the game because I'm not playing with people.
Yeah,
like
it's a tale of two games though. The campaign is awesome, and worth playing. But other than that, I can't recommend it. So, yeah, like I wish the game was almost only the campaign and then double the length, and that would have been an amazing game. That would have been like a gaudy, in my opinion.
I'll give you double the length.
Yeah, but anyways, I still like the game and I still play it, and I'm gonna keep playing it.
Good for you. I'm happy for you.
Any other games to discuss?
I never got to play it, but Mafia came out, and I'm just super psyched for that. I need to put some time down to play that.
Shane was playing it yesterday.
Shane,
he's completely abandoned the division.
Shane, I knew as soon as Mafia came out, because for Mafia, the first Mafia was a big part of like when Shane and I when we first started hanging out in like grade 6, I think grade 7 is when Mafia came out. We were super we were die hard into the whole Italian mob thing. So this was a big game for us when we were kids. So it having a full on remake is something that
What?
is something that I knew that he would definitely and me too be fully on board for.
In Alex's defense, I got to make one comment about Shane, okay? Because Alex gets ripped on, at least in the past, by Shane and Eric about this. Shane literally plays everything but nothing. I'm just putting that out there.
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
He plays everything but nothing.
It's true. It's true. In the sense that I'll give you this, okay? We hear that the summit is coming out for the Division 2. He's all into it, fucking getting geared up on it, fucking grinding out the loot, getting ready. The summit comes out. He's played like 4 floors of it and hasn't touched it since.
I haven't even played any floors yet.
Well, I'm less surprised about because you fit that stereotype as well.
You're right.
But like usually, like every new game that comes out,
completed 2 builds.
like almost
like
every
on a third.
I feel like most new games that come out, Shane either gets through Kyle or his own or Game Pass, and he plays them. But then I don't think he ever finishes them. I don't think he finishes most of them. I know he's finished the Division, so kudos to him.
You said I wouldn't finish Avengers, and I finished the campaign. So
well, that's the only reason I have Avengers, right? Because he was like, I saw some Avengers gameplay. I kind of want to play it. You want to split it? I was like, I guess so. So we did. And I know Alex wants to play, so I'm just gonna I told him once I unlock Black Widow.
Alex
what?
Finished Avengers despite me.
No, I didn't.
I feel like also because I don't play it and Derek doesn't play it and Shane doesn't play it, it's a game that you can go play peacefully and not be bothered by anybody.
That's exactly correct, because I'm just gonna say I was playing like the non-storyline stuff and literally listening to Spotify just
yeah.
the fun.
So and that's not like a judgment of you or us. I'm sure you would have finished it anyway, but it's I'm saying it as it is.
I need my alone time game. Yeah. You're not wrong, bro.
Bruh.
Okay, any other games to discuss?
I just wanted to briefly mention a new one I picked up called Little Big Workshop.
I thought you were going to say Little Big Planet.
And it's
oh yes, that was the game. Okay.
Interesting little game where you run a.
Yeah, you talked about this. Oh, did you talk about it on the last?
No,
episode?
that was not on a podcast. That was on the.
Okay, my bad.
It was the party.
All good, and it's a cutesy workshop building thingamabob where you Okay, here's what I like about it. So it has a storyline thing where you have to make not storyline, but it has challenges where you have to make certain things for certain people. And you run this workshop from an overhead view, and it's but it's all toy based. It's a toy workshop on somebody's desk, Toy Story style, but they come to life and do shit. Now, the thing I like about it is that the market changes every game day. So I'm sitting there being do I have the infrastructure to make these teddy bears? Because they're up 30% since last week. So I'm making these teddy bears, but I'm running out of money as I do it because, well, I'm giving my employees too much coffee and all this kind of shit so they can keep working. But then I end up making the teddy bears, and then they've gone up 40 more %. So I'm let's make 28 more. So then I make more teddy bears, and then suddenly they crash. And I have these teddy bears in stock in my storage room, and I have nothing to do with them because they've crashed out of the market.
Fucking welcome to retail, son.
So I had to reload the game from a way earlier save because I lost my factory because I went into too much debt. So I'm not sure if it's a great game, but I like it. I just want to say I like the game. So I don't know. It's not exactly.
Gotta liquidate those teddies, bro.
I had to. Yeah, I had to. I had to move them faster. I had to do it quicker, but it just didn't happen. Anyway, that's the game. That's one of the games I've been playing. Is Little Big Workshop. It's $23. And again, not saying it's incredible, but there is some DLC on the PC version already called Little Villain Workshop, and apparently you make weapons. So I kind of hope that comes to Xbox. So I can
It
make
will.
fucking guns.
That sounds like more Derek's boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
He already pre-ordered the game on Steam.
But anyways, it's interesting. It's a little capitalist game, which is kind of fun. Anyway, that's it. That's it for me. Avengers and that. That's it.
Did anyone play Tell Me Why yet?
No, not yet.
No,
Okay.
I-
Anyway,
I'm-
all 3 episodes are out now. So
that is my plan now that all 3 episodes are out.
Is that
they
the
are
extent-
all out. Sorry?
Is that the extent of the series? Sorry.
I don't know if it's the extent of the series or just the season. That I can't tell you. You'd have to go read reviews. I thought it concluded the story. I thought it was just a 3-episode thing, but I'm not. I haven't finished the first one, so I can't tell you.
Okay.
But they are all out now.
Can I ask one quick question? I know we're running way over time here, but I asked this question to Facebook too. I was like, okay, I'm into these. I really enjoyed the Avengers. Does anybody here have a superhero game they could recommend that I should try next? Is it the Batman
Spider-Man.
Arkham games? Is it Spider-Man on PlayStation?
Spider-Man.
Lego? What is it? Do you think
The
it's
Arkham games, I recommend Arkham Asylum. The rest you can pass.
Okay.
Arkham City was good.
It depends how much open world you want to get at that point. Because Avengers,
guess-
you're not.
Yeah.
Avengers, it wasn't busy open world work you were doing. There is an open world there, but you were just kind of following the mainline story. And games like Spider-Man and stuff will do that Batman open world better anyway. But Batman Arkham Asylum is like a small, constrained, more like a Dark Souls open world. Not as big, but like things are interconnected in cool ways. But
Okay.
you're in like a small singular area. You're in the asylum and around its surroundings.
Okay.
Whereas in the other games, you're getting the entirety of Gotham City, and from
Is there
my
a
experience,
essentially, or what?
sorry,
Hmm?
Are there Far Cry maps like full of shit on them and stuff like that, or
and like Knights,
in the ones that are more fully Gotham?
yeah, not that bad, but yeah, okay. It's the case of where they take something that was perfectly open world enough and like blew it up because everyone wants bigger and more. And it's not necessary.
I'd say that Arkham City is a good open world one, but Arkham Knight was just too much. It was too open, and that was the Batmobile one, and I hated that
but
one.
Either way, if you're gonna play those games, you should start with Asylum anyway, and then you can make your.
That's how the story goes. So yeah.
So you should start with Asylum anyway, and I honestly think that if you've played it, you've played them all, and you've played the best of them. So I can't recommend that one more than enough.
If you don't want to go with Spider-Man, I'd say the Return to Arkham collection, which is Asylum and City.
I own.
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
You own Spider-Man?
I own Spider-Man already, yeah, but I only have one HDMI cable because I left one at Alicia's, so it would take me unplug it from my Xbox, plug it into my Sony one, like fuck off.
Buy an HDMI cable for a couple bucks, or go get yours back.
Back from her, but
yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
Spider-Man.
Anyway, thanks. That's all I wanted to know. That's it. I'm done.
So guess that game.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Guess the Game time. Quick refresher. 3-minute round. 3 points per correct guess. 3 points for every person you stump. 3 collective hints. And the new addition to the game rules, 5 hints in your description.
Yep.
All right. For anyone that's tuning in and has never seen us do this before, we simply pick a game, vaguely describe it to the other 3, and on those vague descriptions, they have 3 minutes to guess, to attempt to guess what game it is. The hints can pretty much be as vague as you want, right?
Did we make a new rule last episode about having to do at least 4?
Yeah, at least 5 hints.
5
hints.
hints.
You want us to like number those like hint 1? Or
nah.
If your hint, like what I did is I started actually writing out my hints, so they're written in a very clear way that you'll be able to tell what each hint is.
Here.
Okay,
if
I
it,
forgot to prepare for that, so I haven't done that this time. So my apologies.
no, well, you don't have to. I'm just saying is if yours are kind of floating around in your head and they
They are.
risk running into each other, then it probably would be best to specify and just be like hint 1, blah blah
Okay.
blah blah, hint 2,
Okay.
blah blah.
Gotcha.
Like in my case, you'll be able to tell what a full hint is because the next sentence starts in the structure of brand new hint.
Gotcha.
So as per usual, what I do is I take out this D4, I roll to see who goes first, and then we go counterclockwise from there. The numbers are obviously TSG Big Time at the top is 1, Axel Haxon is 2, LU Radio DJ is 3, and then I fall on number 4. All right, so the D4 is out. We are rolling.
Okay.
Fuck this system up the ass.
It's you, isn't it?
It's me again.
All right.
All right. So again, we read the hints. The timer starts at the end of the hints. All right. So I have a list of games that I have pre-prepared. I'm very excited for this. I am picking this one. All right. Excellent. All right. So this is going to be fun. All right. You guys ready? You have your paper, pencil,
I
pen?
have my phone. Yeah, notepad on my phone.
Cool. All right. All right. Here we go. You guys ready? Good.
Yep.
So, character is caught in the middle of a civil war. You are both hero and villain. Time travel is involved. You fight amongst the clouds. And you can catch this on 2 gens of consoles. Timer is starting now.
Done.
And how many questions do we have?
Done as well.
3 questions.
It's one per person. Yeah.
Yeah, or I mean, in the case that
One per
both Sean
person,
and-
or in your case, Alex, you can do
have
all three.
I mean,
Because we're done.
have we made a rule about how we can ask this question? Because I can ask a question that almost confirms my answer without you giving me the answer.
You should be able to ask it. Right?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
ask it as long as you're
So-
not asking for the direct answer.
No, okay. Well, recently in an Xbox group, we were talking about games that we need to play. That I need to play recently. By any chance, is this game number 3 in those games?
Wow, that's so specific.
Fuck off.
Wow. Okay, that doesn't
Okay.
help me at all because I'm like,
All right, good.
I had 2 choices, and I'm glad that my second choice was the one.
Sean, shut the fuck up.
I'm pretty sure Kyle
Alright, so-
knows what it is too.
Oh yeah.
damn. Why am I Ripper?
Well, there's still 2 more questions, so
Yeah, you got questions. Ask away.
my question helped me and nobody else really. Maybe Kyle, because Kyle was there.
No,
I
it helped.
think.
It helped confirm me too.
Didn't help me at all. Which is probably good for you. Okay, so you said you fight amongst the clouds.
Yes.
Mhm.
Is this game released yet?
Yes. On 2 gens.
Okay. Is there a sequel to it coming?
Nope.
Damn.
Ooh, it's a tricky question.
Damn it.
Well, nothing confirmed, so the answer is no.
Okay, I have no idea, so I'm just gonna guess.
All right. Just write down your answer. I'll just stop the timer.
Looks like I'm getting it wrong, and these guys are getting it right.
Okay, so let me just assign these points here because fuck Kyle and fuck
I don't know
Sean.
how to play the Jeopardy tune, but if I did, I would have played it.
All right, so Kyle, you want to show me your answer, asswipe?
What is that?
Yep,
Yeah, that is correct.
right.
You dick. Yeah,
Okay.
Sean, throw it up.
Okay.
I didn't write. Oh yeah. Well, I don't. You can never see my writing properly. Here, hold on. Can you guys see that on the bottom one? BioShock Infinite. Anyway, it's there.
All right. That's not
Alex, what was your random guess?
Yeah, that wasn't what I guessed, and I guessed even against my own question, which is the sequel. But I guessed Beyond Good and Evil because you said you're both good and evil,
Oh.
and Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that does take place during a civil war, or like a civil
Yes, it
uprising.
does.
It does, yeah.
I thought Beyond Good and Evil was my best chance.
But you don't fight in the clouds, so.
But
Beyond Good and Evil
but in
too.
the next one, you're flying a spaceship through clouds.
But I did specify, was this the game number 3 in my question?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what you're talking about. Game number 3. I don't know what that was for. So
As soon as the clouds thing made me go, As soon as he said time travel, I think both of those together just.
I was
it.
also thinking Time Splitters too. At first.
Fuck you.
fair enough.
Fuck you. Do you know how hard I worked on that one?
Damn.
Dickbags.
Get ripped, buddy.
Work harder, bro. You can't
Fuck off.
beat me. I'm the guru.
Work
All right.
harder.
So congratulations. Now we move up counterclockwise. So Sean, it's your turn.
Okay.
Again, the only thing is once you're done your hints, please say done so I know to start the timer. Because if you don't say done, we'll get extra time, and that's on you.
Okay. Dude guy is not human. Dude guy is white. Dude guy's main objective is to cause mischief. Dude guy's game has won many awards.
Oh, I know what it is.
Dude guy is now going couch co-op. Done.
Couch co-op, eh?
I tried to make some easy additions in there. I tried not to be so cryptic as I usually am.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You say dude guy's not human.
Mhm.
Does dude guy have 4 legs or 2 legs?
2.
Thank you. Hmm.
What was it again, Sean? Sorry.
Dude guy is not human.
Yep.
Dude guy is white. Dude guy causes mischief. Dude guy's game has won many awards. Dude guy is now couch co-op. And dude guy has 2 legs, not 4.
Curious.
I'll give one more hint where
But I'm like, what the fuck?
one might say dude guy is not a dude guy at all, by the way. Let's just to be clear here.
Okay.
We have 1 minute 50 seconds.
Okay, somebody ask another one.
Fuck.
Is now couch co-op? You're implying that it wasn't before, right?
That is correct. And if I'm going to elaborate on that, like recently, like in the news,
Oh, I know what it is. I think
in the news, like this week or the week before that.
Roger.
I feel like I'm gonna kick myself in the ass.
I think I
Probably.
have.
Same.
Come on, ask some questions. We got 2 more. I've elaborated on them, but
May I, or if you guys don't have another one, I'll ask.
I can't even think of a fucking question. Like, this
Okay,
is
so-
where I am right now. This
So
is how
what-
fucked I am.
What platforms is this on?
oh, I'm pretty sure it's on all platforms. I'm pretty sure it's on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. But I will Google that now for you just to confirm.
50
Now, that
seconds.
made it weirder for me. What the fuck? What the hell? I thought I had it like 3 different times now, and I don't.
30 seconds.
Main goal is to cause mischief. You said, right?
Yep. PC, Mac, Steam, Itch, Epic, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Holy fuck! Cause mischief. Cause
I feel-
mischief.
I was sure I was given like the best clues ever.
Okay, is it? Yeah. I actually think you did a really good job here by presenting like good enough clues, but also
You did. They're
on
good
that
enough for
question.
us to be able to
What
get it.
Yeah.
what screen is it on? 2D, 3D?
Sorry?
That's time.
What screen is it on? 2D or 3D? Like side scroll? Like
It's technically a 3D plane, but it is isometric, as in above camera.
above camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what it's isometric? Is that the term they use?
Isometric is the Diablo style camera, Sean.
Yeah.
All right,
I have
so
no clue now. I literally have zero clue. Now.
Similar to that, but closer in.
I'm gonna give you guys my answer first. All right, I'm gonna hold this up to the camera.
Balin Wonderlands.
I'm hoping this is right. All right, so I apologize. Oh my God, everything's breaking. So if you can see there, it's there. It's I put the white bipedal alien mischief among us.
Mischief Among Us.
Okay, I think Derek should get bonus points. It's not correct, but I think you should get a point for creativity.
Denied.
That's not how this game works,
Denied?
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
I'll give him one of my points.
No, I'm denying. I'm denying the transfer of points.
I got nothing.
Nothing?
No, man.
You got
Minus
nothing,
3 points.
actually?
Yeah.
Alex?
Okay, so my guess was, I had a few, but everything I asked made it harder. So I'm just gonna go with. I don't think this is true, but I'm gonna go with Ori. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I don't think it's true because it's not on PlayStation.
Negative. No, it is Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, motherfucker!
Oh my god!
Motherfucker!
Shit.
Motherfucker!
Oh my god! Because when you said it's not a game, it's not a guy at all. See, I was thinking Okami, right? And then you said two legs. I was like, okay, so it's not a wolf.
But I said he's not a human. Nobody asked if he was an animal, right? Like,
not just 2 legs. Jesus Christ, I fucked myself. Fuck, man. Or Goose has 2 legs.
and that was like in the news, like this week or last week. For now, they added couch co-op, which I plan to play with Trish. I'm excited.
Yeah, you guys are gonna like it. Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, so now playing with Trish will be fun. It'll add fun to it.
In all fairness, the title I put forth does explain the game very well.
Yes, it does. That's why I said you should get 1 point for creativity.
So
But it isn't. But it isn't right.
minus the alien. I should have put creature, the white bipedal creature, mischief among us version.
But like I said, I tried to specify that dude guy was not a human, and dude guy is not a guy, obviously, right? So.
Yeah. Because I was trying to think alien. Like I was like I gotta be able to think of a game with a white bipedal alien.
Kyle's rage quit.
You fucking rage quit.
I had that thing where everything broke up. I was getting bad Discord, like couldn't hear anything, and
I also tried to make it more obvious by won many awards, and also that it just recently got couch co-op. Like I even said, like I specified it was in the news like this week or last.
I didn't even think of that because I think they started popping up again that it was like back like on Game Pass, like 'cause it makes sense as to why, but I didn't look further into it because I was like, well, I already have Untitled Goose Game, like why I'm not gonna pay attention to this. I didn't realize it was because they were adding couch co-op. Fuck you, Sean. Okay.
It's all good. We all know I'm winning this game anyway.
Fuck off. This is only Series 1, okay?
It's my one achievement in life is winning this game.
Series X. Naturally, we have to get there eventually.
Okay, so we'll call this Series A.
There you go. And
all right.
We'll end on Series X.
We'll end on Series X, and then we'll move to hurricane names.
What ends the series? Is it based on X amount of episodes that we do this, or is it going to be like first person to X score?
Every 3 games is a series.
Yeah.
So is this the 3rd game only?
This is game 3. Yeah.
Going to win Series A.
We've only played it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this the 3rd time with Alex, but once without Alex?
No, because we postponed it that 1 week.
Yeah.
Because Alex wasn't here, we postponed the guess
It's
the
possible.
game.
I feel like this would be like number 4 personally, but
No.
Derek can keep it back, so.
Technically, next week's would have been number 4 because we go on every even day, every even episode.
I know we don't do it often. It just feels like I've done it more often, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, all right, Alex, you're up. What have you got for us?
He's got frozen cam-itis.
Yep.
Alex forfeits all of his points to me. That's one of the rules. I just wrote it in now in the official rule book. Whenever someone DCs, points forfeited to Derek. There. All right. It's
You better
official.
tell him that then.
It's officially in the rule book. Oh, he came back? Motherfucker.
But he didn't hear you change the rules, so.
That doesn't matter. Upon return, the forfeiture is reversed.
Forfeiture.
I don't know why I would write that in. That was dumb of me.
Asshole.
Aren't you guys tied for last place anyway?
No, I think he's tied with me.
No, I'm
For
now
last place.
now Kyle and I are tied for second place. No, third. We'll say third place. Because this doesn't deserve second place status. So it'll be first place, Sean, second place, not applicable, third place, Kyle and Derek, and then fourth place, Alex. For the moment, that could obviously change, right? Depending on these next two games. All right, Alex, you're up, buddy. As per usual, just when you're done, say done so I can start the timer.
Okay, so this game employs multiple dude guys and dudettes. Okay? This game was once famous for a meme regarding the pressing of a particular button to execute a particularly strange task. This game can end in multiple ways. This game leaves you wondering who done it. And last hint, this game's dudettes and dude guys may live or die. It's not certain, but it depends on you. That's done.
That's done?
Timer started.
My question, is this a live action FMV game?
It is not.
Ooh.
My question.
Yep.
Is each player a unique color?
No.
Scratch that out.
Do you want me to
What,
rephrase what I said? So
Yes,
yeah,
please.
could you yeah.
okay, so this game contains multiple dude guys and dudette playable
Mhm.
characters. This game was once famous for a meme that involved pressing a button to do a strange task. Led to many laughs throughout the internet community as to what this button would do, and the prevalence at which that button was discussed. Anyway, this game contains multiple potential endings. This game asks you who done it, which you know what I mean by that, right? Like who, it's like a murder mystery, or
Mhm.
potentially a murder mystery. Anyway,
Mhm.
and also this game. What was the last one I said? Oh yeah, this game. Many dudes and dudettes may die depending on you.
Can I ask another question if nobody else is going to?
Yeah, go for it.
Is is this game a Japanese anime drawing ish?
No, this game tends towards more realistic portrayals.
1 minute 15 seconds left.
I think that was 3 questions. Do you want more or what?
No more. Them's the rules.
I can give you more if you want.
No more questions. You provided the 5 hints. We got our 3 questions.
All right.
Fuck. 50 seconds.
If I can
Is it a-
amend,
Is it a package of multiple games?
That's a question. Stop asking questions.
I will clarify one thing. I said who done it, but it's more of a detective tale. Okay.
20 seconds. Oh my god.
I think he stumps the great Sean, the god of this game.
I hate the fact that you could say that. I can't dispute it in any way.
Everyone's got to be good in something. This is my one thing, okay?
That's time, gentlemen. I'm just gonna write my answer.
All right.
Okay, I've written my answer.
All right.
I'll go first.
All right.
Why not? There's my answer. It is Detective Button Pusher.
Unfortunately, that's incorrect. As hilarious as that is.
No, it's incorrect. No fucking way.
Sean?
I almost have no clue. Jackbox.
No.
Jackbox.
No.
Okay.
Because there's a game within it where you have to push the button. So
I didn't think that one would throw you guys off so much. That
No,
that-
I got nothing either, man.
You don't even have a joke answer? God damn
No,
it.
no, I don't want to do joke answers.
Yeah, you're right. That's my thing. Fuck off.
Kyle's not.
Yeah, I don't want to steal your thing, man. That's your thing.
All right, Alex, what was it?
It was Heavy Rain.
Fuck.
It was Heavy Rain. And
Oh,
then
I never
and,
done
and the meme-based button push is press X to Jason.
Press X. Yeah, press X to Jason. Yeah.
that. Shit.
That thing, right? Because you call Jason, Jason.
Okay.
Every time you press X.
I didn't play that game, so that
Oh, you didn't
explains
play
it.
Heavy Rain? Oh,
Yeah, I've never played Heavy Rain. Is it good?
Oh
Is
yeah,
it-
it's a David Cage David Cage what you call it? Like you play as multiple people and you just try to save one guy's son from getting murdered, and there's a murderer, but the murderer might be one of your characters, and so on. It's pretty good.
Oh, okay. And it's called
Era.
Okay.
It's a PlayStation game.
Oh, well, fuck that then. It's not gonna happen.
But I thought that it was. Well, it might be available on PC now too. Actually,
I don't think it is. Detroit is. I don't think Heavy Rain is.
All right.
developed by Quantic Dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, when you said multiple endings, I should have thought about this because Heavy Rain was like the first game, or like not the first game, but it was like a big game for having.
It was a big game for the
So
multiple
many
choice ending
endings.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like there wasn't enough emphasis on that aspect. So I'm like, oh well, all games have multiple endings now.
Anyone can die, and there's multiple ways it ends.
I know. I'm sorry.
I just before we move on to Kyle, I just want you. Oh, is he back? Kyle, you back?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make it known that I was just looking at my answer sheet here, and I have yet to guess a single one correctly. And my sheet is just full of joke answers,
Fuck.
like blacksmith, gardener, hero, for example.
Okay, I gotta try and make it through this as quick as possible because I don't know why it's fucking screwing up Discord so much right now.
All right, Kyle, as per usual, when you're done with your hints, please say done. Thank you. Go.
Okay.
Man bun.
That was 9 points for me.
All right.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me fine? I'm
Yep.
not messing up. All right.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Speak louder, please. I can't hear you.
No, you're fine. Don't fucking listen to his bullshit.
All right. So, I'm about to start. You are a famous fictional character, the protagonist. The villain is a real-life villain who committed many heinous deeds. The game occurs in a real-life setting, a real place. It is a hybrid puzzle platform, or not platformer, puzzle game and a narrative. And it was on 2 machines at its launch. Done. Sorry. Should have said that.
Based on real, you said it's a fictional hero, but based on a real villain, correct?
Put up that picture again.
Yeah, I just say, what the fuck? Did he die?
Fuck.
You can't even answer my questions if you wanted to.
Wait, is he not here anymore? Oh no, he
he's
froze.
not there.
I'm gonna
You guys.
back. Okay. Kyle?
Can I
Oh God.
What the fuck?
specify? Can I ask? can you? If I were to ask the question, would you specify who fictional character is?
I am getting absolutely nothing right now from you guys.
Unmute us, you bitch. Hello.
Frozen
Kyle.
screens all around right now.
Did you try turning it on and then off again? Off and then back on? Sorry, that would. Did you try turning it off?
Probably because his phone is on Wi-Fi.
Holy shit.
I think we should all get points if Kyle doesn't get his shit worked out right anytime soon.
I just want to hear his thing. I don't give a shit about the points. I'm RP.
I give a shit about the points, bro.
Bro, you're pretty much winning anyways. All right, you stick any extra points up your ass. All right.
Oh, that's not all I want up there.
Straight up, unless something happened.
What the fuck?
What's the point of buying a new computer if you're gonna do that on your laptop, though? That's what I want to know.
He hasn't bought the computer yet.
Yeah, you have to.
He didn't buy it? Like a month
No.
ago, I thought he was saying he was building one.
Yeah.
I don't know. How the hell long does it take you to build a computer? Jeez.
Well, boys, I guess that's it. I guess I win everything, and
Oh, thanks to the new rules I penned in, this counts as a disconnect by Kyle, so it is a forfeiture of all of his points to me.
to you, fuck.
Yep. I penned that rule in while you disconnected
And?
because I wanted points.
Will that put you in the lead? I bet you it won't.
No, I don't think.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you. Can you hear us?
It appears not.
It would actually put us tied, Sean.
I don't believe
Wow.
that.
Yep. Oh no, I was counting Alex's points. Shit, no, it wouldn't. It would put me in a solid second place, though.
You said second place is nothing in this game.
Well, no, because Sean and I, Kyle and I are tied, and we're not good enough to get second place, so I tied us for third in the rankings so far. But now Alex has taken official second place.
I have? Oh, shit.
At this moment, yes.
Wow, nice.
With that stump. It's that stump that
However, if Kyle stumps all three of us, Kyle takes second place, you get third place, and I get thrust into last place.
You see what your problem is? Your problem is the answers, not the stumping. It's the answers of what it is.
Bro, I can't get a single fucking game right.
I know, but your stumps are good usually. That's the
I was counting on those stumps to like
elevate you.
win games for me, but fucking that's not happening.
Sean has both. He has the stumps and the answers.
Not always. Most of the time, but not always.
Bro, like I look back at some of these ones and I'm like, I kick myself in the ass because like going over thinking about your hints versus the answers, I'm like, fuck, it was so obvious. Like when you played the Hitman one, I didn't get it. I didn't fucking get it. Sean played Lego World that time. Like, fuck off with your Lego World, you fucking dick.
Yeah, he set it up like Minecraft and dummied us with the juke move.
That's why I was trying to not juke you this time. I was actually trying to make it. I thought I was making an easy one.
Mansion. Like I look back at these and I'm like, of course I didn't get the fucking Sean played Kingdoms of Amalur. Alex played Luigi's Mansion. Kyle played Catherine. I'm like, what the fuck?
And I played all those games. Not Luigi's Mansion, though.
I mean, that's part of the game, obviously, right? Like, if you happen to play something I've never played, that's on me.
I've never played Untitled Goose Game, for the record.
I have. And still didn't think about it.
Yeah, I played it too, and I didn't think of it.
Because for me, the mischief thing was like didn't track for some reason, even though it totally should have.
Yeah, it should have, because, you know, you steal an old guy's fucking watering can straight out of his garden, for fuck's sakes. And, like, the keys out of his pocket and shit.
Yep.
Kyle.
Nope, Kyle's dead.
Did I get a signal?
Hello.
No.
Hello.
Do you hear
hello,
us?
Hello.
Very broken. I get this like really shitty video connection thing at the bottom. So it's really buggy. I don't know why all of a sudden.
Either, buddy.
You know how there's above video in Discord, it says video
Yeah.
connected?
Yeah.
Mine's at like a 1 bar right now, and I don't know why the fuck it is.
Are
Huh.
you on Wi-Fi?
Well,
I'm
we can hear you well, and your video is coming in fine for us.
Okay, so I'll give you those hints again. Just I won't be able to hear you, so just type it in the chat. And then we'll do it that way. If you have an answer.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. We can do that. That's fine. We'll again write it on our piece of paper and then confirm it in the chat to just make it easier.
Okay. So I'll do it one more time. So you are a famous fictional character. That's the protagonist. The villain was a real life villain who committed many heinous deeds. The game occurs in our real world, not maybe the current one at this time, but the real world. It is a hybrid puzzle game as well as a narrative, like a story-driven game. And it was on 2 consoles. It was one of the few games like this on its console at the time, though, on one of them. And those are you can go from there.
Okay.
Oh, it's at full bars now. We might be able to do this.
Can you hear me, Kyle?
Yes. It's
Am
at
I-
3 bars. So
Am I allowed to ask what the guy? Am I able to say the name of the guy and you'll confirm?
in a second, Alex, to answer your question, it is not set in World War II, no.
Okay, so that acts as my guess.
So, Sean, no, because that gives away part of the thing. Fuck. Yeah, because that gives away part of the title. If
Okay.
What era character do you think it's from, Sean?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the guy I'm thinking about is like a 50s like detective kind of thing, maybe earlier.
That is incorrect.
1 minute and 10 seconds.
One more question.
But I will say you were right about detective. Continue from there.
Yeah, I figured that.
And yeah, there's one more question, Alex.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you another one. Is it anime based?
It is not.
Fuck. I need to not get stumped so I can keep my second place.
Bitch.
45 seconds.
Anime.
So, fictional character, like famous fictional characters, the main protagonist, real life villain.
Okay, can I clarify? He's famous in the game, correct?
No, famous, like worldwide famous.
Oh.
Everybody knows who this is as a fictional character. Famous.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes. The villain is a real life, real world person who did quite a lot of stuff.
The villain.
The villain is real, like a real person.
Yeah, and the person is not. But
Okay, I misunderstood that.
Okay.
no fucking idea.
Oh, that was time.
I have no clue, man.
So
I
you
feel
have no clue.
I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I got nothing.
I
So I'm gonna.
It's not anime. The character's worldwide known. The villain's real. What the fuck? What game is this?
by any chance. Okay, well, I'm gonna give my game, right?
Oh, my video is going down again for some reason. I don't know, Sean. What?
Should I just type the game in the chat then?
Type
Where do I say
in
it?
the thing for me. No.
Damn.
I honestly got nothing, man. So I'm just gonna go with. Wait, but you said it's not anime. Fuck. Both. Oh my
It's
God.
not an anime, no. Not
Shit.
everything I pick is going to be an anime.
Oh.
And I tried to refrain away from those games just to not be a dick.
Bingo was his name.
Is that your guess, Derek?
That's my guess.
I'm just gonna guess what I was going to guess prior to it being known as anime. I'm gonna go with. Wait, hold on a sec.
Time's up, bro. That's fine. Go ahead.
Alex is typing.
I'm pretty sure this is a Sherlock Holmes game. No. Oh wait.
The answer was it was a game for the PC and the Xbox 360. It is Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper.
Oh,
I said it was a Sherlock Holmes game.
yeah. Enjoy that after you typed your shit in.
What?
So Kyle got second. Motherfucker.
So I'm really sad I can't hear your responses to that.
We all.
I'm
knew it
sorry
all
that
along.
might have been a trickier one if you've never played it, but it was one of those like rare hidden gems for the Xbox 360 is what I found. Oh, I got a video signal for now. Yeah, sorry, it was one of those rare hidden gems for the 360. I thought that if I gave you the famous fictional character and the real life villain, that it might have helped a bit, but if you didn't play it, you
Bro,
didn't play it.
I
It
was
a little harder.
thinking Sherlock Holmes, but I
Me
was
too,
like, there's
yeah.
never been a Sherlock Holmes game.
Oh, there's been a couple, yeah.
Yeah, well, clearly there have been, and I'm just fucking dumb. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thus concludes match number 3 of Series A of Guess the Game. All right, so coming in last
Everyone
place,
sounds
we
like
have
Zemos from Saints Row right
we
now.
have me at a whopping 18 points. You suck. Thank you. All right, in third place, we have Alex with 24 points. Boo! Boo! Fuck you.
Look at the crippled. Boo.
In second place with 27 points, Kyle.
Boo. Fuck you, you suck.
You're not being invited back for
Weeboo.
Series B.
Weeboo kid. Waifu.
Bullshit.
And in first place, the winner, who does not in any way, shape, or form fucking matter, especially in this case, because the winner is Sean with 39 points.
Holy fucking destroyed us. Jesus.
Congratulations. Oh, you fucking fucker. On that note, I think that
Podcast.
concludes our podcast for the night.
Alright, guys, have fun. Thank you.
I'm
I'll see you guys
Sean.
tomorrow.
TSG_Big Time on Twitch. Big Time TSG on Twitter.
I am Axel Haxon on Twitter, on Twitch, on your mom's speed dial. Just kidding.
Oh.
Who the fuck is speed dial, right? Anyway, that's it. I'm Axel Haxon. Nice to meet you.
Kyle.
Dead. Said he can't hear people.
Hi, I'm Kyle. You can catch me on LouRadioDJ.twitch. Tell him someone type in the chat. Slap
And
his lips.
I am LU Radio DJ, twitch.tv / LU Radio DJ, LU Radio DJ _42 on Twitter, LU Radio DJ on YouTube.
I finally got my internet
and
up and running.
I have been doing a little bit more streaming than usual. Doing Mystery Mondays. I accidentally accidentally forgot on Monday, but we'll be picking up with Murder Soul Suspect again on Monday. Potentially picking up the Our World Is Ended thing again as well.
And in case you didn't know, on Sundays I cross-dress as a female elf.
Yes. I just got
fucking good. Especially the fucking internet bit. That was fucking perfect. All right. I am Derek, TSG Elusive Man. You can catch me on Twitch at TSG_Elusive Man, Twitter TSG_Elusive Man. Everyone's sick of hearing this, so I'm going to stop there. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. Different bat time, different bat channel. No, it'll obviously be well, hopefully Friday. If not, I will start. I'll be tweeting out any changes in schedule from now on. So if you want to follow me at Twitter, once again, that's TSG_Elusive Man. I'm sure everyone else here would do the same. You see their Twitter handles there. That's it for us. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Yep.
It's very hot in here. I'm going to turn on the air conditioning. Goodbye.
Bye.